The apocalypse is coming. Are you scared? Are you prepared? The masses are running, frantically running from their fears, running with their tears, running from their lives, running from that dark shadowed creature that hides deep inside.
Good morning, happy Sunday to all of you out there. I just trying to get this sticker off this book. How annoying! Um, don't you hate that when you get shit? No, it's ripped. Anyway, so I was at the No Kings thing yesterday. I'm sure you saw it. If you saw, follow me on Facebook. You saw me on the damn thing. You saw the highlights, so we don't have to go back into that. But as I try to peel this off. I got this book after, went to book off. There we go. I think I got it. All right. Perfect. I went to a book off. It's a Japanese recycling business that they sell used books and stuff. And I picked up Run, right? Which is the sequel to March. March was John Lewis's first book talking about the whole thing of the civil rights movement, getting the Voters' Rights Act, all that stuff. And then the sequel, which he actually died before it came out in 2020, is basically how they can, the next thing that came, the responses, like, trying to get into integrate churches. So it opens up with the KKK. First John trying to pressure the white churches to let them go, the black believers to pray, which is hilarious. Because it's like, I don't know, personally, it's like, I'm going to offend a lot of people by saying this. but it's like, why do you want to worship the white man? A white man named Jesus. When it's like the town is run by the KKK in the book. So, and then they go on a march, right? So it's like, so there's a lot of parallels in here. I'm going to get into it with Miguel. Let's bring him on in here. I don't know, Miguel. What do you think about that? I mean, it's like you get this black movement trying to, get civil rights, equal rights, voting rights. And then they go through the steps of a church, which they know is racist, and KKK members to like, hey, let us in to pray with you. I mean, what is the point of that? I don't understand that.
Sounds like a bit of a psyop.
Right. I'm just like, what the?
Yeah, sounds like a psyop. I think I know I'll get heat for this.
Yeah, that's why we're here, to get hate.
I'm gonna get heat for this. I think we start. This is just me. I'm not talking for every black person, but I think that we got to stop looking for any inclusion from the people who have created their identity by excluding us.
Exactly.
Just do our own thing.
Mm-hmm.
Some of y'all want to, smarten up and drop all that hate shit. You're welcome. If you don't, well, to be rude, fuck off.
Right.
It's very simple.
And it was a Cesar Borgia, if I'm saying it right, was the illegitimate son of Pope Alexander VI, right? So
Borgia, yeah.
Borgia. He's the image of Christ that we see.
He's
today.
one of the images. It goes back further.
Yeah.
It goes back to the old temple of Zeus.
Oh, yes.
So see, when you look back at the way Jesus was portrayed, he was actually portrayed in Europe, of course, because then there's the Ethiopians. And if you're Ethiopian, by all means, right. You want to become Ethiopian Orthodox Christian and you're black, all means, all power to you. But it was a temple of Zeus. It was a statue made of ivory. And I believe it was made in the likeness of Alexander the Great, which way predates Borgia. Borgia's like the latest incarnation. But the reason they chose Zeus as the image was because they wanted someone more wizened because it used to be more of a childish, boyish, Apollo-like image of Jesus,
Right.
and then they went to that,
They
which is
went to
funny
younger Jesus.
because it's Zeus,
Yeah, it's Zeus. Yeah.
right?
They wanted well, that would be Gen Z, right? Gen Zeus.
Gen Zeus, yeah. Now, the wild part is, Zeus. Oh shit, Zeus has a meaning to it. That's pretty crazy. It's pretty crazy. Anyway, it's crazy either way. Oh yeah, the word Dias is actually Zeus. It ties back to Zeus. Yeah. So there's all these weird, really weird stuff. But Catholicism is an
Mhm.
amalgamation. There was a point where having black saints was common.
Yeah.
You
Even
have
in
a black.
Russia, the Church of Russia has the black saints depicted.
Well, here in France, there's 300 black Madonnas.
Oh wow. Sounds like a band.
There's a lot of black Madonnas throughout all of Europe. So, I mean, blackness being considered evil, kind of, some historians have said comes into the Crusades and stuff.
Yeah. I gotta
But it
write
wasn't.
Sorry.
Yeah, no worries.
Title of my next song is gonna be 300 Black Madonnas.
Yeah, and the Borgia family, going back to the Borgia, some of the most corrupt,
Right.
one of the most corrupt families in European history.
Oh yeah.
And they're not from Italy; they're from Spain. They're from Valencia. I used to actually live like one building away from the Borgia Palace.
Wow. Oh wow.
Every time today, it's like their provincial government, and every time I'd walk by there, just shake my head. And I remember I had a student who was telling me, he said to me, you know, that Borgia Palace, yeah, that's where the first gold that was stolen from the Americas was placed in. It's on
Right.
the ceiling.
On the ceiling.
And yeah, and I was just like, yeah,
What
thank you
did
for
you use it for? Hey, we got all this gold. What do we do? I don't know. Like the
just put it
ceiling
on the ceiling.
work.
Fucked up. A lot of the gold, I mean, before the gold came from Africa, hence Musamasa. And then that, when the Americas was discovered, all the gold was discovered there. It crashed the African gold trade.
Wow.
That left Africa open. You know, when people are like, "Oh, they're just poor." No, no, actually, the English used to raid African villages for food.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I
And
have mixed feelings about it. I mean, if it makes you a better person, the whole
right.
principles of it is great.
I woke up thinking
Yeah.
this morning this weird thought while taking a shower. I'm like, we sent a lot of the worst from Europe to the Americas because it was kind of like a penal colony in the very beginning, right? And then a lot of these settlers, right, didn't know how to farm the land. They didn't know how to take care of it. So they were literally dying, and they depended on the natives to teach them how to farm. And then once they figure it out, they start killing and eating them. It's like, what kind of society was Europe? Like, if they didn't have the education or the skills or the knowledge to do this shit, you know what I mean?
Well,
Like, it was like, you
keep
know,
in mind,
they were
I
all
would
living in
say
cities, you know?
it depends where you came from in Europe.
Right.
So, I mean, Spain had just kicked out the Moors, kept a lot of the knowledge.
Mhm.
Spain was relatively different. France is relatively different. England's very different. England didn't even have forests to make its boats
Right.
because the Romans pillaged it, so they had to get it from the mainland.
Mhm.
France and Spain and all the others were always fighting each other, so they didn't have as many peasants to kick over because they needed them for their wars.
Right.
I mean, with the exception of maybe Quebec, where they kicked over a lot of white French people over there trying to colonize it. But
Mhm.
the English, and sorry to any English people out there, but back then you were the backwater of the backwater.
Right.
And when their population balloons, they're facing a crisis because they're not really having big wars.
Right.
They're the fucking runt of the joint.
Mhm.
And that's when they start to ship them all over. Mind you, this just let you know how English society viewed the poor.
Mhm.
We get the term white trash from that time period.
Right.
They used to call them the waste people.
No.
And they didn't kick them over there as settlers. They kicked them over as indentured servants.
Right.
To landowners. The landowners would get 40 acres of land for just buying their ticket and 35 acres for each servant they got. On top of that, at the colonial governments, the only ones that were able to have representation at the colonial governments were the landlords.
Mm-hmm.
So what do we have here at the beginnings of the Electoral College?
Right. Exactly.
You know, and it hasn't changed. So
Just freaking said. I'm gonna put on my heat real quick. 62 degrees in here.
Yeah.
That's like
you can hear me still though, right?
What's that?
You can hear me still, right?
I can hear you. Yes, over here.
So to let you know, to let you know, you have poor people who are shipped over with no knowledge, often children. They just get children off the street. They'd wake up in a boat, headed over to be sold off into indentured servitude. Then you get the rich ones who don't know fuck all either.
Right.
So you're not getting like farmers, artisans, and all that are in England or Europe going over. You're literally getting
the runoff.
The runoff. You know, I don't want to use the word useless. I hate the word. I've never really liked the term white trash.
Right.
I don't think any human being should be considered trash unless they prove it.
It's like I start thinking about like my son's cartoons. Like, Thomas, you need to be useful. You don't want to be a dirty diesel.
Yeah. Now here's something that's really scary to keep in mind.
Right.
They viewed the unused land in the Americas, this is the English, as wasteland. Who the hell looks at lush green and forests as wasteland?
And they just pollute it. Yeah,
they destroyed it. Well, you know, the philosopher Francis Bacon, not to be confused with the painter, he actually said, and I remember reading this because I took a course on environmental history and stuff, and he said, we have to rape Mother Nature of all her gifts. The very fact he's using the word rape to rape Mother Nature, a feminine entity, of her gifts, lets you know why we're in the position that we are right now with the biosphere.
Right, exactly.
You know, so you have very big differences. Granted, Spain was not industrious like the North. Spain definitely was about Catholicism, religion, and not about industry. Other than, you know, mining the shit out of gold and silver, and really didn't do all the other stuff. So, which is something that Spain right now is still playing catch up with. You know, they had a philosopher, an incredible philosopher, but there's one thing that he said that still haunts Spain a bit. He was from the early 1900s. His name was Uno Uno. And he said, que inventen ellos, let them invent. And that sort of puts Spain into that not being very industrious, definitely more about the arts, medicine, excellent at the arts. And the industry is not their thing. So each place in Europe has its own thing. And it's just like I would say, it does a disservice to look at Africa as one unit. It does a disservice to look at Europe as one unit, because each of the different characters in Europe in terms of countries are very different. Just look at Spain today. Like, who would have thought that the big imperial power, right, the biggest colonizer, would be saying, fuck that Iran shit and fuck that Gaza shit. Right? You never think that arc is not expected.
That's called, we learned our lesson and we're not repeating it.
I sure hope so. Although I still give them side eye on their abstaining from the UN vote on slavery. I was not happy about that.
That's ridiculous.
You know,
let's talk about that a little bit. This week that happened, right? It was Israel, the United States, and
Argentina.
Like, nope. It's like,
well, all colonizing states, by the way.
Yeah, exactly.
all colonizing states, but
Yeah.
Millet, I like to call him the Mad Magazine version of Wolverine.
Right.
If you see Millet,
Yeah.
uh, he he converted to Judaism. Nothing wrong with that.
Right.
But he also came out and said that if he could go back in time, he'd kill Jesus.
What the fuck?
Because Jesus is the source of communism. And
Ah,
I'm thinking, okay, let's not take that as an insult. Let's just backtrack that. You kill Jesus, there's no Reconquista
right.
in Spain. That means 1492, kicking out the Moors, never happens.
Right.
That means no conquering of the Americas,
Right.
not such a bad thing.
Right.
And three, it means no Argentina.
Right.
So it's just wild how this guy is just, but I mean, this is the guy that
It's just
gives rock concerts,
yeah, yeah, exactly.
right?
He's like karaokeing all the time, right? It's like
Well, he actually sings. He sings, and he talks to the ghost of his pet dog Conan. I don't know if you know this. He's completely like the most revolting and yet the most intriguing character as a clown.
right.
Can't speak English worth shit.
Hmm.
He was trying to talk to he gave a speech, and man, Spanish Twitter went off on his ass, both on this side and the other side of the Atlantic. They're freaking dogging him. Has completely destroyed Argentina.
Wow.
He brought back labor. He took away all these labor laws. They can work 12 hours a week, 12 hours a day, and
Real?
get paid in food.
What?
Yeah, the company doesn't have to pay them in actual money.
What?
So he's
It's like,
completely
are
fucked
you
them.
worth
Yeah.
your salt?
Yeah, it's crazy. That guy, but he's a libertarian.
Right.
It's
What the
great. So,
fuck?
oh,
They're
he's
really trying to bring back slavery in a big way. That's what
well,
it's all about.
going back to the point, do you expect anybody in his cabinet to vote for, slavery being
Right.
bad?
They're
No.
going back to that. They're going to start with the Palestinians. I mean, well, it's already said they've been people in the Congo and all these other
Hmm.
places in Africa already. It's already happening.
Hmm. Well, Libya, when
And like,
we
you know,
when we screwed up Libya. So yeah, my thing was all the European nations abstained from it. That pissed me off.
mm,
Um, Although I have to say that one of the people in the left opposition here, her name is Mathilde. I could probably share that with you
mm,
if you want. She actually came out and said it was disgraceful that France didn't abstain from it. So there are voices here, and it's important to understand there's opposition voices. Things aren't always like, well, all of Europe is like that.
mm,
People aren't like that. There are people who do recognize what they've messed up.
mm.
Recently, I was surprised the King of Spain. Uh, you know, I'm not a monarchist kind of guy, but he did come out and say there's a lot of things that were wrong in the colonization of the Americas that Spain did, which is a big deal for the King of Spain to say that, and
Right.
the president of Mexico is still like, yeah, not quite there yet. Right? And she has every right to say that. I totally agree.
Right.
But yes,
The
did
people
we
will not
expect?
even put the money where their mouth is, right? It's like,
No, no. But for the Spanish monarch, because it was his family who directly benefited from it.
right.
You know, just like the genocide in Congo. By the way, most people don't know this. Well, they don't know about Leopold,
Yeah.
who
It's just
butchered a whole
crazy.
bunch of people.
That's
Yeah,
like ancient history.
yeah.
A lot of
But
people
it was his
don't know about it.
granddaughter
Mhm.
who came out, and along with other people who were protesting, she said, "They're right. What our family did was wrong."
Mhm.
Granted,
Give away the money. Give the money back.
the current king of Belgium went down and apologized to Congo, but didn't fully apologize because it's all legal stuff, right? At the end,
Of
it's going to
course.
be money,
Of course.
and they're afraid of that giving up that money.
Right. They're like, oh, we don't want to give up our power and our status and our money and our titles and all that. It's like
You
Epstein.
know,
It's like
but here's the thing, and the thing that most people have to understand, you know, righting a wrong leads to a better friendship, or leads to a friendship.
Right.
So, for example,
Mhm.
Spain was like, fuck you, I am not going to this Iran war, and I'm kicking out the Israeli ambassador. Kicked them the fuck out of Spain. And they
Right.
left. So what did this lead to? One, Iran says you can go by the Strait of Hormuz. You guys are actually the spine of Europe.
Mhm.
Two, Algeria is giving Spain a 12% discount on their gas. So, I mean, I don't want to bring it down into there is a push and pull. You got to give something up in order to gain something else. And that's
Absolutely.
how it goes. And it shouldn't be like that. You should just do the right thing because it's the right thing,
Yes, exactly.
you know.
Yeah. And there was a bombing in the Strait of Hormuz too. It's what was it? It was, I forgot. It was an Asian country. That wasn't China. That was. It's not the Philippines. What was it?
Was it Taiwan?
It wasn't Taiwan.
Thailand?
It was. It was. What? Say again.
Was it
Thailand.
Thailand?
Maybe. Let me see. Strait of Hormuz ship bombing, and they got their ship decimated.
Yeah, it might have been Thailand. They were told, yeah, go ahead. And then they went ahead. And it wasn't the Iranians who
We
told
the
them.
Chinese. It's like,
It was like the other jackasses, the Americans who told them, oh, yeah, well, we got your back.
right. Yeah.
I think it might have been Thailand.
Yeah, it was Thai. Yeah, Thai. Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead. You're good. It's like
the picture of it is hilarious. This was a while ago, though, right?
no.
There's a picture that said no smoking on board. A huge sign on the boat, and there's a huge plume. they got hit. It's fucking wild. Just wild.
I'm just like, what the hell's going on?
Yeah, but
they all got the message like, oh, if you're Asian, you're good. They're like, oh, okay, we're good.
Well, Iran's demanding that people pay for their oil,
right,
in yuan.
Right. Yes.
Which I remember when Trump got in. For those of you who don't know about dollarization, the petrodollar, all gas and oil needs to be paid for in American dollars.
Yep.
And we have gone after every country, whether it's Libya, whether it's Iraq, whether it's Timbuktu. If they decided to switch, we would go there and crush them because it's literally the spine of our economy. We're not backed by gold,
right?
Backed by petrol in a sense. And Iran.
And this is going back even. I knew that we were going to get into this war 2 years before because when you had the BRICS agreement where they agreed to sell oil not in US dollars, that was like literally, I think, a week or two before we even went to war with Ukraine, right? I mean, with Russia, rather. So, I mean, that was all, and that's when Biden was president. All that was coming to a head. I was like, whoa. And nobody in the United States covered that. It was on Sky News. It was on BBC. It was on Al Jazeera. It was on any international news platform you could think of, except the United States. No local news was talking about it. CNN didn't talk about it. MSNBC didn't talk about it. And it's like, the stock market is in deep shape. And that was the reason why we went to war, all these wars,
Well, and most people don't even know how we even got on it, let alone that we're on it. Right. How we got on it the first time was Nixon was running up the debt in Vietnam. And Charles de Gaulle, who, man, they fucking hated that guy. But he actually called us out on some shit. And this is one of the reasons, one of the ones that he called us out on. He says, you don't have all this money.
Right? Charles de Gaulle was French, right?
Yeah, he was French.
And we were backing the French fighting the Vietnam.
No, they left
80%. This is prior to them leaving.
Yeah, then we
were backing them.
We're the fuck out of there. We're not winning this. On the way out, they told us, "Don't go in there.
We'll go in there.
Win this shit."
But Americans stupid.
Screw you, Frenchie. You don't know how to fight. We're going in.
Yeah. Well, they just realized that they can make a ton of money regardless without winning the war. Because if you really look at it, we never really crossed the other side,
Right.
We never crossed the other side. We never invaded the other side, which we could have easily done from all four corners of the waterfronts and then bring it in. But we never did that.
But we were still been fucked. Because they had a whole underground systems. But here's the thing that really fucked us. Pardon my language. Or don't. Charles de Gaulle says, you guys don't have the money that you're saying. Everything was backed by gold, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
So he said, I want my freaking gold back.
Mm-hmm.
And then Nixon, there was a crisis, it was Bretton Woods. So they had to decouple from gold. And he was like, what the hell are we going to back it by? And this is how the petrodollar comes about as a means of continuing that. And then we got into what is known as fiat currency, which is really not technically backed by anything. You can print as much as you can, as much as you want. For those who might be in MMT, which I totally agree with, because if once you understand modern monetary theory, not really theory, it's more of an accounting practice, you understand why that's not a problem. The problem is where you spend the money. But that led us to the current crisis today with having the money basically tied to petrol.
Right.
And the Iranians are about to knock us out. They're just not taking out our fangs. They're taking out our teeth and our molars.
Right, exactly.
Right now. And I know Trump has been saying, oh, none of that stuff has been happening. Don't worry about it.
Right.
The USS Gerald Ford, they're saying 14 months to 2 years worth of repairs.
Right, right.
That's not a fire or someone just clogging the toilets.
Nope.
That's some serious damage.
Serious damage.
Serious damage. So we're facing, I think, several big changes. One, where the U.S. isn't the dominant player, which we haven't seen since the Cold War.
Yeah.
Two, where the West isn't the dominant player anymore, and we haven't seen that for 500 years. You know, and
Many
just
times.
yeah. Well, I don't think it's scary. I think it's important. It's about time. When the South has been getting kicked while they're down for 500 years, it isn't going to always be that way. But Europe and America fooled themselves into believing.
Oh, sorry.
What's that?
He had a double play for a second.
Oh, yeah. But they think it was always going to be this way.
Yes. It's scary. I think it's scary, man. It's just
Why do you think it's scary?
Just the fact that you have the majority of Americans that don't understand all this, and then you have, kind of just going with the infighting of red versus blue, and then you have a lot of things that come from that, like a lot of violent stuff, people blowing up stuff. Like you just had this Jewish guy try to kill a Palestinian.
Yeah, I saw that.
Demonstrator, which I would say that the guy was a little set up, because it's like the guy's talking this stuff on social media, and then right away an undercover cop gave him the means to execute it. So, and this is what happened in New York years ago when you had the Muslims bombing the church, the synagogue in the Bronx. That the bombs didn't work, but they got these two guys that were on the spectrum. Clearly, they were basically going undercover in mosques looking for extremist people. No, they got a bunch of retards, literally, and then gave them the means to execute this. And of course, the bombs didn't work. It's entrapment, basically, which is a crime. So you're basically trying to give people the means. The people have bad ideas. Don't get me wrong. That guy had a bad idea. He was affiliated with an organization that has a history of terrorism. But they clearly gave him the means, and they gave him enough rope to hang himself.
Right.
And I'm not saying it's a bad thing that they caught him. I mean, they caught him. He had that in his mind, but you fed it. You fed the beast. That could have been. I mean, this is where we're going into thought crime, like going into this whole thing like Minority Report, that Tom Cruise movie, where, you're seeking people with bad ideas, and then you give them the means to create those bad ideas into reality, and then you collar them and say, "Hey, look, we got our man. We're fighting terror." And the end game is, hey, we're just trying to get more tax dollars for our department.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
We're creating criminals. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And it's like, is that what the police are really for? You know, if they were just watching the guy, kind of like, okay, he's doing this, and surveilling him, that's one thing. That's monitoring a crime. But when you, just like Timothy McVeigh, right? Timothy McVeigh was in a militia. These guys had guns. They were in a club. They had their little calendars, and they're just a bunch of rednecks. Let's just face it. But then you have all these FBI informants, which they never really disclosed in the news. It's like FBI informants were helping him and his brother and this militia to basically blow up a fucking building. And it was actually several buildings, not just the one that blew up. Why didn't all the buildings blow up? Because the feds were in on it. And then the main guy that's never mentioned was the son of the German diplomat at that time, who was flown out back to Germany the day the buildings blew up. Right. And even Timothy McVeigh's girlfriend supposedly was an FBI informant. So this whole militia group of rednecks that got flipped, and the two brothers go down for it. Well, actually, McVeigh went down for it first. His brother was scot-free for about 2 or 3 years, and then he got hooked in too, because he started talking to like guys like Michael Moore and doing interviews, and then but then he never even mentioned this whole federal thing. That came out later, like during the declassified documents. So it's kind of like, why are they protecting the FBI?
Well,
why would the FBI blow up a federal building and kill a bunch of school children too?
Well,
I'm
going to segue into a story.
Go ahead.
To illustrate this. So years ago, I remember my brother bought me this, because he's Mr. Martial Arts, bought me this book on ninjutsu by a man by the name of Stephen Turnbull. He was Stephen Turnbull. Or Hayes or something. Anyway, in this opening story, it's this village, and a rumor starts going around this village that this powerful daimyo is going to go through there and ransack everything on the way to go fight another one.
Right.
So they panic. They're like, oh my God, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? And someone says, well, we should hire the ninja. Right. The ninja will stop them and divert this.
Right.
So they go to the town elder. Town elder's okay, yeah, good. We'll give them all the gold that we have. We'll hire them, go to this temple. They'll be there. So they go to the temple, they hire them, and then just say, don't worry. They won't even make it to your village. At the end of the day, as he explains the story, it was the ninja who passed the rumor in the first place. And we're dealing with that kind of conniving. They do it. They have to create a boogeyman for us, because that's the way they make their money. One of the big things is in the military industrial complex is the surveillance industrial complex.
Right.
If no one's committing crimes, it's just, oh, I had this idea, whatever, that's stupid, and no one's feeding it, then the crime's not being committed. Therefore, you don't really need all this law enforcement, right?
Right.
But to keep us and keep their thumbs on us, they have to create these boogeymen, these stories. And they go beyond that. Like you were saying about Timothy McVeigh, they'll fund them, they'll give them all this other stuff. So it keeps us in that matrix of criminals, decent citizens. And when it's a binary. So if you have, and it's almost like a web, and a pyramid with a web of different binaries: left, right, blue, red, criminal, non-criminal, black, white, so on. And as you start to peel away at those, the system gets really upset, so it has to reinforce something else to make up for it.
Absolutely.
You know.
Exactly. So it's just like, yeah, it's like shit like that just drives me up the wall. It's like they basically, again, it's entrapment. It's like you're taking someone that's not, you're basically taking advantage of people. You're creating the criminal, just like Netanyahu is sponsoring Al Qaeda, and they're trying to say, well, this was not in the beginning. This was 2011. Oh yeah, but we're still fighting these people.
Do you remember that?
It's like,
what was his name? Padilla.
Yeah,
he was a young kid from Chicago, I think.
Yes,
and he had mental issues.
Yeah,
and they set him up that he was going to do some terror act, and he's been in jail.
Yeah,
in imprisonment since then, and
right,
in solitary confinement.
Right. They always go after the dummies.
Yeah. I'm just hoping someday someone pretends to be a dummy.
Right.
and goes, oh, yeah, give it to me. Yeah. Oh, really? Yes.
Yeah.
And then leaks out all the emails saying, this is what these motherfuckers were trying to get me to do. And by the way, I didn't do a thing. They just fed me all this. This is this person's name, this person's name. By the way, they work for this. So entrapment can go two ways. The problem is we're not aware of this system to be able to, because we believe in it. So we believe that they have this power, that they're actually trying to. The whole thing with Epstein, the FBI isn't releasing all the files on Epstein because it would damage us.
Because
the FBI is defending the Epstein because they're part of it.
Yeah, then you got this with the Palm Beach Pete. It gets crazy.
Oh, that guy. Yeah, that guy. Yeah.
It's like talk about smoke screen after smoke screen after smoke screen, right? But check this out. So in Elohim City, right, McVeigh and Terry Nichols were closely connected to this Oklahoma compound, which was under federal surveillance. So when they joined the group, right, this militia, it was already being surveilled by the FBI.
Yeah.
Including the ATF and ATF informant Carol Howe, right? Then you got Andreas Statsmeyer, head of the security of Elohim City. Documents indicated he was in contact with McVeigh shortly before the bombing, and the informants reported that Strassmeyer discussed attacking the federal building, right? Larry Potts was directed by the FBI, alleging an undercover operation that went wrong. So they set up all these bombs in the building. FBI is knowledgeable of it, and then they let it happen. And if you remember, before that, you had the, I think it was, I forgot which, it was in Africa where there was a consulate blown up, I think weeks before, right? I don't know if it was Nigeria or I forget, but.
I wonder if it was Kenya.
Yeah, I don't remember. I have to dig that up. But yeah, it was just like, it was like, this is kind of a coincidence.
Yeah.
More than a what I mean? It's like,
well, they have to justify their budgets. They have to, and see, the thing is, when we hear about the operations that they do in other places, right? People think that they wouldn't dare do that here.
Oh yeah, but they do.
Like 9/11, I met many non-melanated people, because many melanated people, which includes Latinos, are always of the, I could see them doing that.
Right.
But non-melanated people who really deeply believe that the government would never hurt its own people, as though Jim Crow didn't exist, as though Black Wall Street getting bombed didn't fucking exist.
Exactly.
Right. I remember having friends saying, no, man, I can't accept that the U.S. government would do that to us. And the thing is, they do it to us all the time.
Well, that's because they have us so duped in entertainment that people just don't believe it. They just refuse to, oh no, we're the good guys. It's like, yeah, whatever. Clearly you haven't opened up a book or read anything about the history of this country and how this country was founded, how it's made its wealth, how it massacred Indians, how it enslaved Africans.
Complete freaking crooks.
Right. Transatlantic slave trade.
Yeah.
Voters' rights. I mean, even something current like gerrymandering districts so people can't vote. How are we the good guys? I don't understand it. It's like,
And that's why, you get a lot of people who still push Jefferson.
right.
Oh, Jefferson, for all of his flaws, he tried to free his slaves. The fucker didn't free his family members, his own children.
Exactly.
And it wouldn't cost him that much.
Right. Yeah.
Free your kids. And for a guy who was such a Francophile, I mean, there were people who were mixed, or black people who were aristocrats in France at the time, whose
Right.
parents were slave owners, and they said, "No, I'm freeing my freaking kids." So he couldn't even, like, for example, the writer Alexander Dumas. His father was
Right.
born in to an aristocrat and an enslaved woman,
Mm-hmm.
and but his father gained him his freedom. Didn't do it for his sisters.
Mm-hmm.
He's a sexist bastard. Didn't do it for his mom. Actually sold them and temporarily sold his son into enslavement. But Jefferson, for all of his love of French culture, didn't even freaking do that.
Exactly.
So, I mean, people sort of take it like, well, he had to free all of it. He had such a burden. He couldn't free his slaves. Well, about just freeing his kids. How about acknowledging his kids?
Right.
What sort of a
Probably, which
person?
probably did not. Well, I
Right.
mean, they must have so many kids because think about it, they're just raping slaves left and right, right?
Mhm. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, and that's a part um we have romanticized and mythologized, and we call them planters.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't plant shit. The
Right.
enslaved people planted the shit. They
Right.
were slave owners.
Mm-hmm.
And until we take the next step in our country's evolutionary thinking, which
Right.
is like, okay, they set up the Constitution, which is pretty hypocritical,
Right.
right? Uh, and try to live up and make it not hypocritical.
Right.
Yeah, they had their shortcomings there, but there's plenty of room for improvement. We can do better than they did. We can live up to what the American spirit should have been from the
Right.
beginning and
Right.
truly have a revolution.
Exactly.
Because it was just a war of independence from plantation owners. And most of our presidents came from Virginia at the beginning, which was a plantation owning place. Virginia's a place that gives us all the racial laws,
Right.
all the racist shit. I mean, I think Adams was the only Northeasterner for a bit.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't own slaves, by the way. John Adams was the only one. Classist bastard, though.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so the romanticization, and particularly I find this really deep in white male liberals, and it equals those of white male conservatives for that period.
Right.
And there has to be a moment where you go, yeah, because they'll tell you slavery is in the past, but 1776 is yesterday.
Right. Right. Exactly.
You want to do it, it actually falls on us. That's the thing.
Right.
It's easy to coast on a legend.
Right. That's true. Then dealing with the facts. Yeah.
Dealing with the facts and going, all right, they fucked up. We're going to improve it. We'll do better.
Right. Exactly. Now I said UN, but I was wrong. The guy was actually more prominent than the UN. He was actually very high-ranking German government official. So,
Oh, so he wasn't just like a diplomat's son.
right. He was actually bigger than that. They called him Andy the German, Andreas Strassmeer. But he did walk. The minute the investigation started, he was flown out to Germany.
I wonder what.
Yeah.
My thing is, I wonder what someone from Germany would gain from this.
Right, I know. And so they say that he served chief staff to the Chancellor Helmut Kohl, was prominent leader in the Christian Democratic Union, the CDU. It's his father, right? So in Germany. Now, and he was the head of security at Elohim City, right? white supremacist compound in Oklahoma, right? Are we having all these white supremacists in the United States government right now? It's like,
well, it goes
right?
back. It goes back to the beginning of the culture.
Right.
I mean, most people don't know, and yeah, I'm going to be bashing on Jefferson for anyone who is flipping out.
Yeah, but it's, you can't deny the past, right? You can't move forward if you don't learn from the past. You're doomed to repeat it, right? So that's what they say. I mean, that's also another thing is like, I see why, me personally, why I haven't done a demonstration since George W. Bush, because we were, I mean, it was way bigger. I remember in 2003 or 4, before we bombed Iraq, before the war started, that demonstration was much larger. It was, like they said, like yesterday's was about 7 to 9 million, right? And then the one that I was in 2003, they said it was about 100,000 people, but no, it's like, it was like, this was like 2 avenues filled with marchers, right? In 2004, it was 5 avenues. I remember going from the UN all the way down to the west side, and they were still blocks from as far as you can see, from vanishing point to vanishing point, because that was, everyone from around the world came to New York. New York was the epicenter because it was the UN, and that's what they should have done yesterday, because they could have had that easily if they just, everyone, like I said, got on the bus and go to DC and go to the heart of it, and then in LA, they had some, gun-ho cops that just started shooting tear gas at people. So they didn't even get to, and it wasn't even the largest demonstration. It was like one of the smaller ones that involved, whenever you see Black people and people of color, Mexicans, there's a lot of Mexicans in California, they're demonstrating with most people of color. That was the one that was gassed. The one with the white folks, no. It's like, so you can see there's a difference in, this was a peaceful protest. Yeah. Why? Because the majority of people are white. Is that?
White, middle class.
Right. The minute he's like, people of color, they got out of control, so the cops had to shoot stuff at them. It's like, give me a break. Black Lives Matter got out of hand, and you had inside agitators smashing up streets and throwing bricks because those people were like paid people that were meant to dismantle and disrupt, right?
And they killed off a lot of leadership. And I don't have any evidence that they killed them off personally, but a lot of the original leadership of Black Lives Matters, a lot of them were discovered suicided in cars and stuff.
Right.
Which is not unusual. Anyone who knows the history of COINTELPRO knows what happened to Fred Hampton, because it wasn't just Martin Luther King and Malcolm X, which Martin Luther King's death has been actually put on legally. This is a ruling that said it was the U.S. government that was responsible for his death.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, there's this. Here's where it's going to be very painful to hear this. We're not voting our way out of this.
Nope.
You're not protesting. You're not protesting your way out of this. If you want a peaceful resolution, I'm not here to call for overthrowing anything. But if you want to look at a peaceful revolution, you might want to look at Portugal's Carnation Revolution.
Right.
And what had happened there, sort of break it down roughly, actually my father-in-law, he had left Portugal as a young man, came to France to work as a construction worker, which he did for the rest of his life. Not here in France, he ended up in Canada. But he had left because they were shipping people to Angola to fight. So you had poor Portuguese people going over, fighting in Angola to fight poor Angolans. So they could steal the resources so the rich people in Portugal could make their money. And eventually the soldiers got sick of this shit. So they plotted a coup. It was a peaceful coup. And they overthrew the government peacefully by people going out in the streets. The military said, fuck this shit. We're not going to do this anymore. We're done with this. And that was how Portugal entered into, and I'm yeah, I'm sure there's people out there who know way better about it. I'm just giving you an overall general way. So it comes down to this. At some point, it can't be business as usual. At
Mm.
some point, because the Constitution's being violated over and over again,
Over and over again.
those who've been called to defend the Constitution have to start defending the Constitution
Right.
and
That's
have to stop defending
really
the
tough.
person, the leadership. Right? And it doesn't matter if it's Democrat, Republican. This is just a matter of keeping the structure of the game intact.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Absolutely.
that's just my 2 cents.
I'd buy that for $1.
Right? So for those who might not want violent revolution, there are examples of peaceful revolution.
Right.
But it means that whichever way you cut it, the armed forces is going to have to be involved.
At some point, yeah, I mean, they're going door to door. I see what they're doing with ICE, just randomly going into people's homes without warrants and just grabbing people. And how is that different than what we did in Iraq? We're grabbing from everyone, every male from age 15 onto 65, 70, and just grabbing them and throwing them in a detention center. And some people stay there for 20 years with no charges when they were released.
Right. We go back to the beginnings of the country.
Yeah.
What were the British doing?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
The colonists were pissed off that they would come into their homes. Right?
Yeah.
So we were like, fuck this shit. That was one of the big things that led to the American Revolution, the War of Independence, I like to call it better.
Right.
But yeah. But yeah, it's exactly it. And it goes back to, I don't know if you've ever heard of Aimé Césaire. He was a man from, I believe he was from Martinique. Black man from Martinique. Lived a lot of his life here in France. Started a movement called the Negritude movement. It was to get Black French people reconnected with Africa and their African identity. And he wrote a book called, or an essay called Discourse on Colonialism. And in it, he says, and this
so he's kind of like a Marcus Garvey kind of.
Oh, well, he was a poet, not necessarily, but he would be, if I remember correctly, he was the mentor to a man who was an incredible psychologist and one of the most important, I would say, thinkers of the decolonial movement, a man by the name of Frantz Fanon, who was also from Martinique. Frantz Fanon's Wretched of the Earth and Black Skin, White Masks are still incredible reads. I just finished reading the Black Skin, White Masks, and the psychology of what he breaks down, because he was a psychologist of colonization, is amazing. Just hands down, you're like, whoa. And it was published 1950. But in the book, in the essay, A Discourse on Colonization by Aimé Césaire, he says something that is just so telling. One, he points out, why are you surprised with what you did in World War II? You're only surprised you did it to yourselves, but you've been doing it to the rest of us for 500 years.
Right.
And then he says, fascism is colonialism inverted. So what you were pointing out about what we were doing in Iraq, we're doing now in the States, that's what's now called the imperial boomerang.
Right. And that's the book right there. That's one of the many covers from Penguin.
I don't see it.
Oh, didn't show up. Whoops.
Yeah. I think it's because, yeah, it's that.
Try it again.
Yeah, he's
that's weird along the
yeah, there's a lot of things to learn out there, but this is not the time to be timid. And the old ways, like, really, did the protests against the Iraq war stop the Iraq war?
Yeah, no, it did not. And that's what I said. I feel like, all right, this is great. We're out, we're marching, we're doing this stuff, but at the same time, it's like
it needs to be more focused.
Right. And it's like, where is this going? Where is this leading to? Yeah, it's like weird that the
image doesn't show.
It's not showing.
They don't want to show it.
You're not gonna advertise this book.
No, you're not. You're not gonna advertise it. No, I hear you. I hear
again
you.
in a few seconds. Yeah.
Plus, there's a lot of moneyed interest behind it. We have to understand that when we think of the very wealthy, we tend to might think of them as being like one unit,
Right.
but there's a lot of conflicting interests even at the top
Right.
and factions, just like you would have in any mafia organization. And that's really hard, I think, for us to. I think it's hard for some of us who might grow up middle class or grow up to think that everything's freaking Richie Cunningham.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
that book was amazing.
They're really
I
good.
uh, I recommend that book to a lot of people. He goes into the psychology of, um, I mean, he brings up the psychology of how we want to sort of be part as Black people because we've been colonized right
Right.
from the get-go. We think, oh, white is better.
Right.
And he brings up something I just freaking laughed out loud. So apparently in the French territories,
Mm-hmm.
uh, places like Martinique, they're taught that their ancestors weren't African, they were Gauls. And
Mm.
he's saying, like, come on now, you
Right.
know. So he says they set us up from the very beginning to be more attuned to France
Right.
than to Africa, psychologically speaking.
Mm.
And that's just screwed up, you know. And he goes into cutting up certain relationships, and certain relationships like Vance and his wife would make more sense once you read the book.
Right. Right.
Not that he's condemning interracial marriage or anything at all. He's just bringing up why that happens because he's using this one Black lady who's basically she wrote a book cutting up Black men.
Mm.
Talk 1950, and how that Black people are just the worst. And then he goes through as a psychologist and breaks this down. And then he does something that I have never seen anyone ever do before.
What's that?
He dissects and pretty much disassembles Jung's collective unconscious. Because he says, who's collective unconscious?
Right. Who's
The
right?
European collective unconscious?
Correct.
Or is it the African collective unconscious? And I've never even thought of that before.
Yeah, yeah. As the millennials do, they go like this.
Yeah, yeah,
Or is it this?
yeah.
Because they can't do this. So they go like this.
It's kind of beatnikish.
Yeah, yeah.
It's yeah. So yeah, it's a fantastic book, fantastic read. Really challenges you, and also challenges Black men who chase solely Black white women.
Now we just saw it for $11, but somebody has this version of there. $1,500 for a
Yeah.
hardcover. Like, wow.
I picked my actually, it was one of the books I read in French.
Really?
So
What's your first language, by the way?
my first two languages are Spanish and English. I learned them simultaneously.
So you like dual language. Very cool.
Yeah, from the beginning. Then my third one was French, but I never really till I had to move here, and I had to.
Yeah, yeah.
And I appreciate it because now I can read more comics.
Yeah.
Right? I get to read books and stuff too. And it's definitely not up to my other two languages. But yeah, I grew up with both of them. And my late brother used to laugh at me because he's like, man, there was a period where when you were a kid, man, you're like 3, you had like a Spanish accent in English, and then you had an English accent in Spanish. And then somewhere along the line, they just sort of switched into their proper place. He says it was the weirdest thing. Yeah. So, yeah, those are my
That's
two primary languages. Yeah.
That's cool. I tried to learn the second language. I was studying like, Japanese for many years, and I was getting it. And then like something in my brain just switches off. Like, no, we're not doing this anymore. And then I was learning Chinese for about 3 years, and then it was so weird. Every time I went to this, I was doing it on my own with the books and like CDs and all this stuff, like Pinsler. I was starting to pick it up, and then I wanted to take a class. I was like, I need a. So I went to this downtown, it was this counselor or something like that. What
Mhm.
that was offering classes, but every time that they offered it, they're like, "Oh, not enough people signed up, so we're canceling it." Like I
Uh,
pay. They did that like 3 times in a row. I was like, "What's going on here?" Like they advertised for this class. It's in Manhattan, like on like 40 something street or something like that. Like, like in there, like in the 40s or 50s, like wherever that counseling was at. And then they canceled the class. Like they almost like they were scamming money. Like, like, hey, we're getting these grants to teach these classes, but there's no actual class going on.
I don't know. I don't know, man.
It's either that or just they don't know how to advertise their fucking
Could
class.
be, as we said as well, that
Yeah.
Japan has been more promoted. So I'm
Hmm.
sure if it was a Japanese class, it'd get filled. But
Hmm.
China has been, for a long time, demonized
Yeah, for real.
and seen as less than.
They're the bad ex-girlfriend that
Yeah.
American
Oh, it's not.
wanted. What is she like the side wife or something like
Yeah.
that?
Oh, they're the cheap products.
Right.
You don't want China, right?
Right.
And I think that's maybe they weren't really getting people to sign up.
Yeah, yeah.
So there's that. I mean,
They weren't advertising it enough, right?
meanwhile, Trump's granddaughter speaks Mandarin,
Right, right.
you know. So the wealthy are taking care of their kids.
Yeah, absolutely.
But they're letting the rest of us just, like be dum-dums. Uh,
Mhm,
a lot of times, and I have to say this as a language teacher, because I did teach English as a second language.
mhm,
A lot of times the way we teach the second language is shit.
mm,
Because when you're a kid, you learn a language,
mhm,
not because I didn't, and it's funny because I was a teacher around the same time that my kids were small. And I'm
mhm.
like, I'm not sitting around there going, okay, this is the verb.
Right.
I'm just like, you just talk to them
Yeah,
and you start to pick it up.
yeah. Like my
As
son's
teach as
learning
teachers,
French too. It's like he's everything that I wanted to be.
your son,
Yeah, it's like language-wise.
language wise, well, that's a
It's
good
like
thing.
he's got French under his belt. Like I had he made a French rap song the other day. I was like, "Whoa, that's
No,
pretty
that's
cool."
great.
And then like he's converses with people, conversational.
Yeah, a lot of times is if you can get immersed in it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Because when you need it, that's when you're like, oh
Yeah.
shit.
He even
How do you
watches the
say
news in French.
bathroom,
Yeah.
right?
That's me. I can say that.
How do you oh shit, how do you say bathroom? But once you learn it in an emergency,
Right.
you'll never forget it,
Right, right.
right? So a lot of times it's being in that.
So I
That
have to
habit
spoil myself to get that second language. It's like,
just you literally I think a lot of times living there it does it. Because for me, I still remember when I got to Canada, because in Canada we're supposed to learn French.
right.
Operative word, supposed to.
Right.
I was sitting in my first class. I was living in Ottawa at the time. That was my first place. And let me tell you, going from
Right.
Madrid, sunny Madrid, even though it gets fucking cold in Madrid.
Right.
My first winter in North America was in fucking Ottawa.
Mm,
Ottawa has the most extremes, most cold and hottest,
right.
period. Anyway, so I'm sitting there in my first French class because we're supposed to learn French. And I'm kind of excited. I'm like, okay, I really, my dad had a choice as an engineer. He had a chance to go to either France, which I wanted to go to, or I ended up here, funny, Canada or Australia. No fucking way I want to go to Australia. So Canada was like, okay. Anyways, I'm sitting in my first class. I'm about to learn French for the first time. And this kid leans over, fucking bastard, and says, this isn't Parisian French. And my brain just locked because I was like, oh shit. What if I learned some sort of like backwater bayou French
Right, right, right.
and now I can't go
We see that.
anywhere? Right.
My son's learning the French from Canada, so it's different from the
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Here's the interesting thing.
Mm,
Spanish, French, and English in the Americas share something in common.
mhm.
They're actually kind of the older versions of the
Mm,
ones here. So, for example, like how we pronounce our R's,
mm,
we say the word car, right?
right.
Or winter. The British say ka, a winter.
Mm,
That change happened in the 1800s. So the way we pronounce it, which is the Rotic R, is older.
Right.
In Spanish, from the Americas,
Mm-hmm.
they will say vos,
Mm-hmm.
right? And Spanish always get teased for saying usted.
Right.
But vos is like really fucking old. That's like Musketeer old Spanish.
Right. Right.
And the same thing goes for Quebec French. It's
Right.
like the older version.
Older version.
Yeah, so it's really wild. But to me, the wildest part is overall, most of the people in the Americas, the accent is very similar to Andalusian.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So when I hear them speak, I'm like, yeah, yeah, Andalusian. Even the costumes. I was in New York once, and I'm meandering into all this shit. Sorry.
No, it's cool.
I was sitting in New York. New York. It was a Latin Day American parade. I'd gone to see Susie at work, and I just sort of meandered off afterwards. And I'm seeing each country coming by: Peru, Colombia, Mexico, all these, and I'm like, Andalusia, because of the short bolero jacket, common. I'm like, holy shit! And there was only one, and I think it was Chile, or it might have been Peru, where I'm like, Castile.
Right.
The costume is like a vest, beret,
Right.
and I'm like, holy shit.
Right.
But it was pretty wild to see that. So yeah, so I in terms of the French is very different, and
And from there comes a lot of stereotypes, right? It's like what is this based on? Like, oh, the Mexican guy's got a sombrero. It's like the Puerto Rican's got a straw hat. That's like
well, there's
like
a mishmash, right?
right,
That happens, but it's kind of wild seeing like those costumes sort of changed, but
right,
knowing where the costumes come from,
right.
which
It's
is
just like
wild.
my wife was asking me, like, how do Puerto Ricans dress traditionally? I was like, they wore colonial farmer outfits because they were slaves. And that's where you see like the traditional dance that originate from Africa. They're also dressed as slaves, like that whole plantation. Like, that's not really, we don't know the culture. Whenever you see pictures of like the Arawak Indians, they're like with leaves or some shit or like a headband. It's like, and it's like, is that accurate? We don't know because it's been erased. It's been eradicated.
And that's a big crime of colonialism.
Right. It's like, where's the original language of the Puerto Rican people?
Yeah.
Who speaks Arawak?
Well, and that's a big crime of it.
Right.
That's a big crime of it. That's why the transatlantic slave trade, which leads to colonization, is such a horrible thing. It erases people.
Yeah.
It erases people. And that's why us like saying no as a country is horrible.
Right.
But she's right, and that's why when I was watching it, I was intrigued by where they came from, but then I was also equally disgusted, mind you, because I'm like, holy shit, like, where's their traditional stuff? Like, where's the Mexica? Where's the Inca? Where's like,
Right.
it's crazy.
Where's the native customs, right?
Yeah.
Colonial based.
Yeah, there's even though part of me comes from the Americas too, right?
Right.
The other part of me looks at it with a certain sense of disgust and shame. So it's that weird of looking at it going, yeah, that shouldn't have happened.
Right. Exactly.
Growing up, right? But
right, exactly. It's like,
so,
what's American? Is it a polo shirt? I mean, I don't know. That's even our fashion as Americans is basically European, right? Like, the shirt, the tie, that's all European. What is American culture? Is it like a Walmart football jersey? Or I don't know. It's like, I don't know. It's like, what is it?
well, cowboy hats.
Cowboy, they stole that from the Mexicans.
Well, and here's the wild part. Here's the wild part. So this is the part where most people will probably want to Google it, I'm sure. Hernan Cortés, when he went to Mexico, brought with him African enslaved people who were cattle ranchers. a lot of people say, oh, the whole vaquero thing comes from like, because vaquero is what? Cowboy.
Right.
From Galicia. No. The Africans were known for being incredible horse trainers and cattle herders.
Yep, exactly.
So it starts right from the beginning in Mexico with bringing over Hernan Cortez, bringing over African enslaved people.
Yeah. That's why you had a lot of mixed Native Indians with Africans, and there were in the rodeo, things like that. You know.
Yeah, but it's not like English culture, because English, that to me is like, fuck you guys have, you know.
Right.
You guys got banking. That's what you got.
Yeah.
Know, so
and
here's the other part that gets really murky and ugly.
Yeah.
And this is how history isn't always our friend, but it's history. The person who helps Hernan Cortez conquer the Mexican people is a Congolese man by the name of Juan Garrido. And there were a lot of Africans in the Spanish Armada. And Juan Garrido was the first person to plant wheat in the Americas. And he was also a conquistador. So our image of the past, once you start looking into it, you start realizing, holy shit, it's complicated.
Oh, yeah, for real.
It's complicated, but it's one of those things. Yeah. The story of Juan Garrido is not my favorite, because it's always so much easier to say, well, it's like, oh, fuck, not that guy. You know, you went along and you conquered these other people, but.
And here we are, we're still trying to say, hey, these guys are illegal immigrants, but then everything that we consider American culture is their culture.
Yeah, it really is. It really is. It has to be said.
Tuesday, hello.
It has to be said. I mean, what culture does? I'm sure English people will get all mad, but England is an amalgamation of all the other different cultures from Europe.
Right.
Spain is an accumulation of a lot of the different cultures, some from Europe and mostly from Africa.
Yeah.
Right. So where you keep unraveling it, where do you go to? So this idea of we got to protect our Western culture from.
Right. We got to protect it. Like, you talking again? This goes back to not reading. Back to people not educating themselves, which is intentional. They don't want you to read. They don't want you to be well,
or even thinking.
Or even thinking. Yeah.
What's going? Well,
I have voices.
Those cowboy boots.
I need medication. I hear voices. It's like, that's called your conscience.
Yeah. Well,
it's called thought. It's called thinking.
Yeah, you sit there and go, like, I wonder why they have cowboy hats. I wonder why they have those cowboy boots.
Right.
Because those higher heels, well, high heels was originally for men.
Right.
Which is hilarious when all these alpha males are talking, those things. Right. They go, Prince wore high heels. Well, so did Louis XIV.
Right, exactly.
It was.
Yes, because you're short.
To avoid stepping in shit.
Right.
Right. It literally was, or these rules that people still adhere by that they don't even have a fucking clue.
Right.
You might have seen this meme years ago. It was a picture of a woman walking, and the man's on the outside, she's on the inside. But if you actually look at it, he looks like he's further along. Everybody gets, oh my God, that's just terrible. He should be on the inside. She should be on the inside. She shouldn't be on the outside.
Right.
But you could read that picture like she might be trying to walk past them. Right. Either way, most people don't even know why that rule is.
Right.
The rule literally comes from the very fact that people used to throw shit out their windows.
Right.
So to be a gentleman, you would walk on the outside, so you got hit with the shit.
Right.
Not the woman.
Meanwhile, nowadays they're like, oh, that's because if you're married, you should walk over to protect the woman or some shit like that. Yeah. It's like, but now
it was to protect the woman from getting hit with shit and piss.
Right.
Nowadays,
like, to avoid the woman from being viewed, or it's like, give me a break.
Which is crazy, because then they complain about Muslims, right?
Right, exactly.
Those crazy Muslims.
Those Muslims that dress like nuns.
There was a point up until the Second Vatican Council,
Mhm.
and even in some old Spanish towns and Italian towns, where
Mhm.
women still put a veil on their head to walk into church.
Yeah. Even as a Jehovah's Witness, when I was younger, women would cover their heads as us. And if I gave a Bible study, for instance, and there were women present, they would put anything on their head. They would even take like a piece of paper and go like, out of respect. It's like, I mean, that was the
Yeah.
90s.
Yeah. Yeah, it
Yeah,
hasn't, I mean,
not that long ago, you know?
there's this idea that, oh, no, you're very much the same.
Right.
There is an argument to be made that most of the religions that we practice today are anti-woman.
Right. I mean,
All
think
of them.
about the hats in church, right? Well, all the women are wearing hats in church. It goes back to that. They just made it fashionable. Like, hey, I'm gonna. Then it became like a hat war, you know?
Yeah. 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 But to think that Muslims are unique on that is,
Right.
there's just so much anti-Islam,
Yes, tons.
that's just not fair. I mean,
Mm.
it's not fair at all. And I'm not a fan of religion.
Same.
I'm not. But
They all stem from the same origin point. You know, they all
Mhm.
originate from one another. You know, it's like
Yeah.
like a little Russian doll, right? You just keep
Yeah.
opening it up, and there's another
Well,
religion.
or look at the the Jewish Orthodox women.
Mm-hmm.
They have to wear like a wig or a
Right, yeah.
cover. Yeah, so it
Goes back to the same thing. So
comes
that's
back to the same thing. You're still
covering their heads.
controlling a woman's body,
Right.
but we focus on Islam as opposed to going, all you fuckers have to change,
All right.
right?
They have to put a sheet over the woman with a hole in it, right?
Oh my God, I
Constantly.
haven't heard of that in such a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah, you couldn't have direct contact,
Right.
which is just like, what?
It's people living in the past. That's the problem. It's like we're in the 21st century. Let's
And
not.
even in the past, I'm sure that some of these traditions, they'd be like,
What?
you do what? Because you'll be amazed. Like most people wouldn't know that the person who taught Socrates was a woman.
Mm-hmm.
We were taught, oh no, the Greeks are like thoroughly sexist.
Right. Right.
But I think her name was Aspasia. She taught him how to be a philosopher.
Mm-hmm.
There's in the pagan world, sure they were sexist, but they also had women. One of the great women mathematicians, oh gosh, I forget her name, but she was killed by Christians
Mm.
because she refused to convert, for one. She was very rambunctious and very open with her thoughts.
Mhm.
And they killed her by literally peeling off her skin with seashells.
Oh God.
Yeah, this was the early Christian church that we
Right.
revere.
Right.
The same early Christian church, nothing Christianity says that we're supposed to get rid of slavery,
Right. Exactly.
condones it.
Tells you to respect your master.
Yeah, it tells you to respect your master. The
Right.
early Christian church, they took over 380.
Mm-hmm.
Roman enslavement didn't end till like the year 1000.
Mm-hmm.
Then we got serfdom.
Which is basically slavery.
Slavery, yeah.
Relabeled. It's not slavery, it's serfdom. It's not
serfdom.
It's blue collar.
Yeah, and that's the thing, we some people will argue, well, Jesus never said anything against that.
Right.
And that's a problem.
Exactly.
That's a problem. And I think it's a problem that I think that the early Christians who believed he was just a man, I
Right.
think they had it right.
Mm-hmm.
Which then does two things which we don't like as people. One, we can improve on it.
Right.
Two, we have to be active to improve it.
Right.
And three, because if you make him mythical, if you make him Superman.
Right. Well, he did fight a dragon.
Well, yeah, he did fight a dragon. But if you make him mythical, then no. Once someone becomes in the mythical realm,
Right.
it's something you don't even try to aspire to.
Right.
You're like, oh no, fucking Superman. Come on, it's a cartoon character. I can't do that.
Right.
But when he becomes, to me, I always thought of him as a revolutionary in a sense.
Yes.
And I'm cool with that.
Right.
The Superman thing, I don't buy.
Right.
I
Water.
just don't buy it. Yeah.
Walking on water, feeding 1,000 people with one fish. or 8 fish or whatever it was.
You know,
And a
that
few
to me is
loaves of bread. I was like,
but see, I see it in a very different way, those stories.
yeah, they're parables. They're not literal.
But if you put it in the context of Rome as an empire,
Mm-hmm.
and you really hate this empire, then the story of a man who is so good. This guy walked on water. He was so good. You got to understand the Mediterranean. Mediterraneans usually they're going to exaggerate shit to get the point across.
Right.
He was so good. He could cure the blind. He could do all this thing and feed everyone. And the fucking Romans killed him.
Right.
That becomes a very submersive and very anti-imperial story.
Right.
And that angers people because they're like, you mean they fucking killed this guy because he was curing the sick and doing this and doing that, right? So I think there's a power in that. And Spanish-speaking culture has its way of fucking over-exaggerating shit to make a point, and you laugh. That's just part of Spanish-speaking culture. Perfect example: the opening of Desperado.
Right.
Where he's going, yeah, man, I was just over at this other town, and in came the biggest fucking Mexican I ever seen. And that scene, how they plays out between him telling the story and Antonio killing all the guys, exemplifies something I think very unique to Spanish-speaking culture. The ability to tell this really fucking over-the-top story, make you laugh, but also make you sort of kind of go, yeah, that's a tall tale. But there might be something in there, right?
Right.
So I think that what has happened is, particularly for the Bible, it's being read by people who are more Germanic and English being some Germanic, and they're very cold and dry. They're very scientific. Everything's like a machine, right? And the Mediterranean isn't fucking like that. They're like, yeah, man. So this guy told me some shit, and you're gonna throw some sauce in there, right? You gotta pad that story up a little bit.
Right.
But the fucking German believes that actually fucking played out that way. No, man, I was just talking some shit to give the story a little bit oomph, right? And I think that's the problem. That's the problem with Northern Europe. It takes things too factually.
Yes.
And shit. I mean, the
I think we're all from that, right? I mean, people take things too literal sometimes.
Oh yeah, too literal.
Even today in conversations with younger people, I'll say something and they're like, "What do you mean?" They're ready to take offense to it. I'm like, "It's a metaphor, man." I'm kind of like, it's not literally. They don't get it.
No, they don't.
I wish I could think of an example now, but the way we talked when we were younger, like you say something and they're like, "What does that mean?" And they think it means something else. I'm like, no, dude, this means that.
And that says that we're losing metaphor.
Yeah.
And if we're losing metaphor, we're losing a means to be able to express deeper meanings.
Yes.
Much deeper meanings. Like a lot of people don't know, but the original language of that Jesus supposedly spoke was Aramaic.
Right. Yes.
And there's something I learned about in Aramaic that's very interesting. So the word Abba is father.
Right.
And Barabbas, the other guy they were going to choose, means son of the father. So when you have, you got to choose this guy or choose the son of the father.
Right.
The poetry that we're missing in that, but yeah, I think that's what's lost. That's why people freak out over so much of our pop culture.
Absolutely. They just don't. They missed the lesson, right? It's like, did John Henry outbeat the machine with nailing? It's like, come on.
And take something like there's just so many things. Like it would be like the story of the parable of the seeds.
Right.
If it was told today for the first time, people would be like, yeah, but where are those seeds?
Right.
It's like, dude, I'm not talking about actual seeds. It's a metaphor for meaning, God's message gets to some people and it doesn't get to others. Right. That's where we are.
Or the scorpion and the frog. What are you trying to say about frogs? What are you trying to say about scorpions? That's kind of
it's just like once,
it's like wow.
once on online, I had written a Spanish. There's a very common Spanish proverb or idiom, which is if you raise crows, they'll grow up to peck your eyes out. It's kind of like saying, raising ungrateful children, right?
Right.
And someone's like, "Well, crows don't do that," and I was like, "That's not the fucking point."
Right. Crabs in a barrel. What do you mean I'm a crab in a barrel?
Right. Or sometimes we'll get the metaphors wrong. Like everyone will say, "Oh, he's a bad apple." And
Right.
it's like you don't understand the full expression. A bad apple spoils a bunch.
Right. Right.
There can't just be one bad apple. It means
No,
all the apples are bad.
all of them are fucked.
Right.
Just like I like to say, from the root to the fruit.
From the root to the fruit. Yeah, I haven't heard that in a while. And then you might take something like our culture's obsession with realism.
Yeah.
I think that stems to the loss of metaphor.
Right.
We have to have something look ultra realistic. And that's, I think, a problem where we can't enjoy something for being abstract.
Right.
Play with.
Right.
This need for hyper realism, which also ties in with fascism in many ways.
I blame Neil Adams. I'm just kidding.
No, I mean, even his stuff wasn't really realistic. Like, you could look at it.
Like everyone loved Walt Simonson. They love Jack Kirby. This guy's like total realistic. Everything's realism. Everything's like, and then everyone starts. I got to be realistic. I got. You're taking a fantasy concept of superheroes, and then you're painfully trying to make it realistic. And I love Neil Adams' art. Don't get me wrong. I knew Neil Adams. It's like.
Yeah, and I don't find even Neil was all that realistic when you said.
No, I mean, in some ways it's crazy, but in that period, in that time period,
I agree.
And if you think about Golden Age comic books in relation to the Silver Age, and then afterwards, like still today, like everyone's like looking at, oh, this has got to look real. It's like, and that's like, why?
It loses some of its soul.
Right. It does. You lose imagination when it becomes literal. Kind of like when the angels lost their wings in the Renaissance, and then they were just men with halos.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like the superhero has to, in some sense, lose an aspect of itself in order to evolve. But I think that the cartooniness is something that it shouldn't have. I mean, because when you get to realism, like, well, now you're just dealing with real people. You're not dealing with fantasy. You're not dealing with sci-fi. You're dealing with like stories, but then you can't follow a story if the story is too deep. So then it becomes anecdotal, right?
Yeah, and even sci-fi,
like real, and then it becomes irrelevant because they're like, well, I could do this AI thing. I could just type in a sentence and watch this.
And there's this thing with, because I favor more. I love Jack Kirby. I love all those guys. The caricatures that Jack Kirby would do communicated more the character's personality better than most. But there's a loss of like communicating certain personalities for like facial expressions that they have. Everyone's very like, like I enjoyed a lot of Michael Turner stuff, like Witchblade and stuff, but I found that it started to lose. It just didn't have expression. Right. All the expressions were all the same.
They're all the same, like a robot.
Like a robot.
Robot face.
Part of my problems with Jim Lee, to a great degree, the facial expressions are not that ranged. One of the things I loved about Sam Keith's work, though, you felt like those fists were freaking heavy.
Yes.
And it touches a much different side of you than just looking at a photograph, because it's going into something more emotional.
Yes.
And I think we by going realistic, you lose so much of that soul.
Right. You see that with the movies too, like the DC movies are, we gotta make it real world. It's gotta relate to our sciences. You can't have Ra's al Ghul be really die and come back. It has to be like a myth or like an urban legend, but he's just a regular guy. It's like, well, you're kind of taking the magic out of the story.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and you need that exaggeration, especially when you draw. That's the magic of drawing.
Right.
The magic of drawing is being able to take something and adding to it, and going back to what I was talking about, Spanish speaking culture,
Yes.
being able to exaggerate,
Right.
to add that sauce to the story. And I
Mhm.
find this over obsession with realism is very much it's killing it.
It is.
It's
It,
killing it.
and it's no fantasy to it, you know. It's all just
No. And then they wonder why the kids gravitate to manga.
right. It's like I was looking at this book here that just came out a week ago. It's a
Mm.
all-in Batman, absolute Batman Arkham. So it's not just. It's funny how they stole the absolute vodka. Now it's absolute Batman. But then this is the irony here is this ad. You have this wrestling ad, which is all fantasy. It's all comic bookies. Look at those wrestling matches. They're all fake, right?
Right, right.
But they inhabit all those tropes that comic books used to have. And then people were like, this is a Batman comic? This shit is so boring. I feel like I'm
Yeah.
reading like one of those historical comics from the 60s, you know, like
Yep. Yep. That's why
it's so
I'm
boring and dry.
I've always been a big fan of J. Scott Campbell,
Yeah.
even though his women look like they're crazy.
Yeah.
I've been a big fan of Art Adams, huge fan of Art Adams. I love his work.
hmm
One of those guys that definitely he plays with the exaggeration.
hmm
But there's been a lot of people who've been obsessed with realism, and it isn't just the fans, it's also the editors.
Yes.
But why is manga doing well? Because it exaggerates.
They wanted to be novelists, but they ended up editing comics. I guess they didn't cut the mustard. I mean,
They can always write their novels in their spare time.
this looks like this is like Frank Miller inspired, obviously, from The Dark Knight Returns. Clearly,
Right, right.
The shitty bat logo. But I mean, look at that. That's 2026. Look at this. This is 1988, I think, or something. 87. Look at the difference between. This has that Kirby.
Yeah.
On burn and realism, it still has that Kirby, and everything the same. And you mentioned Art Adams. Look at the difference between Adams or George Perez. Like that's exciting.
Yep.
It's like,
Yep.
and he is also going towards that realism thing. But you still had some. I wasn't really a big fan of George Perez per se. I mean,
Yeah.
because of the realism, I thought it was just too real. It looked good, but it was a continuation of that 1960s Neil Adams realism. And again, we're getting away from this is not reality. It's not realism. It's doesn't have to be realistic.
And the thing is, you can't be realistic. There's the other contradiction. You can't be realistic with a black line.
Right. Yeah.
You can't. No one has big, thick or lines.
Right.
If you're gonna be realistic, you're gonna have to be like Alex Ross.
Right.
And that'll take fucking forever to get a comic book done, right?
Comic book then, yeah, it took years just to do one. I mean, even Alex Ross, after a while, you could see his models getting older, and as he continued to use the same people in his production. So people from the 90s and then you look at the early 2000s, and you're like, they're visibly getting older because he's striving for that realism.
Realism,
And
yeah.
I thought was interesting about Alex Ross. He said in an interview once that he never learned how to mix colors. So he just everything he uses straight from the tube.
Wow.
So it's like, wow, are you an artist? I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, I mean, you
just
learn
like,
how to mix colors. That's wild.
that's the core foundation of art, right? It's
Yep.
like,
Oh, you learned that in art school.
right.
That's very strange. Hey, he does his stuff good. I'll tell him that much.
I mean, he photographs it, he light boxes it, he traces the photo so it's painfully realistic, then he airbrushes it, then he, I mean, yeah, I mean, I'm not saying he's not an artist, but think about it.
Yeah.
Are you an artist?
And
You
the
know
thing
how
is,
to draw, but are you an artist?
I mean, I like his stuff for the technical side, but it doesn't really move me.
Right. It's a pretty picture.
Yeah.
It's
And
static,
it's great. Everything from top to is great, but it doesn't move me.
Right.
So, and there's that other sense of, a Bruce Timm though.
Yeah.
Man, that you got me.
Yeah. I mean, look at that. Like he elevated Batman to a whole nother level. People forgot about. People used to hold up those Saturday morning cartoons that look like shit. Then you got Bruce Timm. You're like, this is what I want, because you see an artist. See, the people who did the Saturday morning cartoon knew how to draw. They knew stuff, but they weren't an artist. Bruce Timm was an artist. He gave it life. He gave it something,
And he had a budget.
And he had a budget.
He had a budget.
Yeah. But even when you see his sketches in his sketchbook, you see that there is and you could tell some of his poses are obviously influenced from other artists that came before him. I would say he heavily borrowed reference, but he would still be able to make it his own, And I think that's the difference between someone like Alex Ross or Neil Adams. Like Neil Adams is phenomenal. Knows how to draw. I would say he's an artist, but he was a better businessman. I mean,
and, for what he did by being one of the first, then in that sense, he was an artist.
Yeah.
Because he broke out from the rest of the pack.
Yes, he broke out from the rest of the pack, and he's like, I'm going to monetize this. And I would say he was one of the more successful. If you look at people from his time period,
And I'll see the same thing.
Until he died, he was working,
I'll say the same thing about Alex Ross too, though, now.
Yeah.
Because no one else really, up until him, really broke away with that particular style.
But I would say the difference between Alex Ross is that Alex Ross has representation. Neil Adams
did it himself.
He did it himself, his family. Like you'd see his wife, his kids. He's like, through the,
I met him once. He was a nice fellow.
I mean, he did it himself. The people that are running shit is his family. He had a ton of kids, his wives. It's like those are the people that are, Alex Ross is a brand. He learned that from Neil Adams. He learned to do it smarter. I don't have to be here. I got these people selling my work like an art gallery or something, like like they're representing him. So I would say Alex Ross on the level, like I would got to like maybe like Jeff Koons status of like, of like operations,
And I would say before all that, Frank Frazetta.
And Frank Frazetta,
Now here's the difference. A lot of people confuse Frank Frazetta with being realistic.
Right. But no, he's very painterly.
He's very painterly, but he was very fucking dynamic. There's that one of my favorite paintings of his is Conan's fighting all these guys, and you can feel the movement of him twisting with this axe.
Yes.
And that's what's lacking from a lot of people.
Yes.
Like you see then
motion movement.
Static image, you have to and that's where I think Neil is a little different, because you still had that movement for him.
Yes. Yeah.
Alex Ross's stuff, I don't feel that.
I mean, look at that.
Heavy.
Look at that. Frazetta.
Yeah, I and the mood he captures. He captured a lot of people concentrate on his actual technical ability, which was off the charts.
Yeah.
But
look at that.
The use of color, the use of movement, he really tapped into the mood. And I think that's really what's really lacking. Being able to see a cover or comic book art where you're like, holy shit, I want to find out what this is all about. Right.
I
don't get that anymore.
There's like different levels of definitely different levels related to that, it's mind-blowing,
It's mind-blowing, but
I mean, and it's not just his action scenes. It could be like, it's like if you think about like something as simple as a woman riding a horse by the ocean, it's like it's magnetic.
Yeah. Or you look, there's one where
I mean
it's a princess, she's by a pillar.
I mean, look at that.
Yeah.
That
there's movement. You can feel that.
Right.
You can feel it. And it goes back to what I said the last episode about Will Eisner. He was complaining that there's a lot of people making pretty pictures, but it's lacking movement and expression.
Right, exactly.
And in that sense, he was very right.
I mean, Alex Ross is a great painter, but it's stiff as fuck.
Yeah.
I
I know we're going to anger a lot of people with this, but yeah.
I hate to say it like that, but it's just stiff. I mean, they're like, oh, he's great. It's like, nah, not really. Like, not really, you know? It's like
he puts together what I would say a technically good, very good, excellent piece. But when you compare it to a Frazetta, it isn't the same. That movement, Frazetta literally was painting with fire.
Yeah, literally. I mean, look at this.
Literally painting with fire.
I mean, it's beautiful, but it's stiff as hell.
Yeah.
And, he's tracing his photographs. He's photographing it. He's light boxing it. Then he's painting it,
Yeah.
It is, he knows how to draw. He knows how to paint. But it doesn't evoke anything.
No.
It's statuesque.
Well, I don't want to say it because I'll get myself in a lot of trouble.
Yeah.
But there's a certain level of lightness to it.
I was going to say fascist.
Actually, when you look at the fascist art,
Uberman, right? It's like that. It's like
look at the fascist art. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, when you look at the fascist art, and that need for hyperrealism ties in with fascism too.
Yeah, absolutely.
It ties in with fascism too, and that's a very big problem. By the way, do we have any comments?
Oh, that's a good question.
So no one goes, "Hey man, you didn't answer that shit."
Man, what the fuck? I got locked out of my Facebook and I gotta check on my phone. Checking my Facebook. No, the computer is always acting up. Like I was literally prepping stuff, and then all of a sudden it's like, what?
Yeah, I hate that.
It's like when I was trying to click on the computer, it was like doubling up, like it was playing live, and then I click on it to read the comments, and then it's like all of a sudden you got the questions.
Well, the good news is computer parts are going to get cheaper.
How so?
Because sorry, I don't know if you heard this.
Yeah, you see that? That's exactly what I was talking about.
Sorry.
No, it's fine. It's very low. But I was doing the same thing.
No, you were the same clip. The same clip. Oh my god, that's scary. Just because someone asked me about a link for the Netanyahu story.
Oh yes,
getting blamed.
I saw this as a meme. I thought that was pretty funny. It's like those Iranians you're talking about. Are they still here with us
in the room? Yeah,
it's like fucking Trump getting as a mental patient because he's talking about yes, we're we're negotiating with the Iranians. Like we got them on the ropes. Like,
yeah.
what the hell are you talking about?
Ah, shit. Sorry about that. No, I was gonna answer. Someone asked me something. I was gonna answer them.
No, go ahead. Answer the question. Go ahead. What did they say?
Oh, I had put a little thing on my Facebook page about Netanyahu funded Hamas through Qatar, but it blew up in his face.
Yes, he did. It was
because apparently, and it was Gary Cohen who asked me for the link because I just posted up the thing.
Yes,
I had the link, and I was like, "Oops, I didn't expect it to start playing."
Right. That's fine. That was the BB files. That's a clip from the BB files, which you can find. Yeah. Lucky. I mean, I had an app where I could use it, but that app is knocked out. I can't use it anymore. But good luck finding the movie, but you can find it, and it actually goes into detail that they had not just written evidence. The man signed a contract with Qatar because Qatar was like, "Hey, You're going to blame us for terrorism if we do this. We need an agreement. We need you to sign permission for this. So he literally, wrote up a contract with him in Hebrew so he could read it. And he fucking signed his name on it. And he was $36 million a month for 5 years of US dollars, taxpayer dollars, to Hamas through Qatar.
Yep.
You know, and if you look at any of these Instagram or TikTok reels about what's happening in the courts in Israel, they're like, you caused this to happen, not accidentally. You intentionally had these gangs, which now we know that are in Gaza, not just Hamas, cause October 7th so that you could stay in power, because he was supposed to be sentenced to go to prison.
Yep. Yep. Actually, that was part of the deposition where he was saying this can't get out.
Right.
I'm Bibi. You can't let this shit get up. But yeah, you know, and of course he's saying it in Hebrew. I can speak Hebrew, but and basically saying, yes, I funded Hamas through Qatar.
Yeah. And then the judge who was prosecuting it just happened last month to get hit by a car, got killed. You know, and everyone tied into that started dying mysteriously. You know, the lawyers, the informants, you know, it's like all these guys that are tied into this, you know. I mean, some of those people from Bondi Beach, from what I understand, one of that guy was a tour guide who used to take people to Gaza and show the bombings, like on buses and tours. And then he had an intimate, I don't know if he was related to that corruption case, but he had an intimate tie to Netanyahu directly, and he was killed on that beach, you know. But there was like there's videos of him, I think a week before that shooting on the beach, that was showing him as, I guess they thought he was getting too much attention, you know, like he was filming this, advertising, hey, look, we're in Gaza and we're taking these people on tours. And they were like, no, we don't want that. We don't want the world to see you're taking people on tours. But he was exposing it.
Wow.
But he was in Netanyahu's side, you know?
Right. Wow.
But he got killed on the beach, you know?
Wow.
You know, but
yeah, well, you know,
TikTok,
I mean,
all over TikTok saying, hey, look at this great stuff we're doing. We got the IDF soldiers here. We got tourists from America. You know, it's like he's advertising this, his I don't know if it's his side hustle or what, but it's like he's bragging on social media about, you know, let's watch the Gazans die. And, you know.
Well, they would take lawn chairs and sit down and watch the bombings of Gaza.
Yep. Which is very similar to what happened during the atomic bomb, right? When we were testing the atomic bomb, families would sit on lawn chairs and watch it. And they knew there were native Indian populations that were living in reservations within those areas, right?
Sick.
And then
even
they died from fallout themselves. They all got sick with cancer. All those people that worked on those sites, you know, got sick, you know?
That's sick.
So the people in Israel who are watching bombing the hell out of Gaza, they're going to get some sort of, and it's not radiation, but it's other stuff. But I mean, there are rumors that they dropped like an A-bomb on them. So you're not safe in that land if the wind does blow, right? And if you're rebuilding that, we talked before about unexploded bombs, that whole cache of arms that fell, right? These shells and stuff that are, and a lot of soldiers who boots on the ground in Gaza blew up from their own shit.
Yeah. Well, I could tell you here in northern France, like I live in northern France, there are parts of France that still have old unexploded mustard gas bombs and all sorts of shit.
Going back to World War II, right?
World War One.
Jeez.
And they're like, yeah, these areas you can't inhabit because they can't pop those off, because if they do, it's going to contaminate for a while. And every once in a while in Paris, this has happened a few times, where all of a sudden they're like, yeah, I think we're going to have to close off this station because we just found an old munition shell from World War II. So this shit sticks around for a while.
Yeah, that's almost 100 years ago. It's like
Yeah, exactly. What sort of a world are we leaving for Keith Richards and Willie Nelson, man?
right. And
So
in 50 years, it'll be like Adam and Eve starting all over again in a nuclear wasteland, and then their kids are like, oh, "Daddy, look!" And
yeah, scary, huh?
what is the Earth we're inheriting? Right? Like, that's the reset. Oh, it's a reset. Yeah, it stepped on a landmine. Like
Yeah, yeah. Landmines,
right.
the nuclear power plants.
Yeah, the part. Yes.
There's so many things that we got to stop fucking around. And I know I'm swearing a lot this episode. Stop goofing around and get serious and be adults and
Yes.
upkeep shit. That's dangerous. It's very, very dangerous.
That's not going away.
Mhm.
Like this. I mean, that's the cost that nobody. I mean, where are our Congress people, our senators, our representatives that know this stuff? Organizations that remove that stuff. Where are their voices?
They don't care. They're building new ones to drop.
Yeah, it's like remember in the 80s, like I remember it was like in Ireland or something. There was like a little girl that stepped on a landmine or something like that and blew up. It was like a whole huge news thing because it was all from a long time ago. It was like from World War II or one of these old wars. It's like, and I think it was an Irish girl, but I think it was either in Ireland or it was in England. I don't remember, but it was in the 80s. And I remember they went so far that they even did a whole DC comic book on it. Like it's like where are these organizations that were like not for profit talking about the dangers of war and after war and
They don't talk about that shit.
don't talk about it anymore.
Like one of the things that
Don't
I
even
always
see
bought.
commercials for condoms anymore about safe sex. It's
Well,
like,
you don't see that either.
it's like they're wondering why is Gen Z get riddled with STDs?
Yeah.
It's like they never saw a commercial.
But you know what's really fascinating to me? There's something that always stuck in my head.
Right.
All of our movies about war only show the action of war,
Right, not the
but
after.
it never shows the after effect of war.
That's correct.
Living in the rubble,
Right.
having to scrounge for food,
Yeah.
not having electricity, people
Right.
getting sick, the stench of the dead,
Right.
and it lets you know that we've really haven't had too much experience as Americans with our country being decimated.
That's correct. That's coming.
We do the decimating,
It's coming.
right? We do the decimating. We go out
Hold
the
your breath.
decimating. Yeah. And but that says a lot. Like when I did my first comic,
Mhm.
my first graphic novel, which was Samurai Elf, my first official one that I actually printed, and I still have a few kicking around.
Right.
I purposely wanted to show the after effect of war, the
Right.
dead bodies around.
Right.
A lot of it comes from because my mom survived the war, but she didn't live a war as a soldier. She lived it as a civilian, as a child.
Right.
And I think all of our stories are always about soldiers and the honor of being a soldier and killing the enemy. And
Mhm.
it's never from the person who just gets caught in the middle of this shit.
Right.
So
I think the closest to that was a culture war with the South Bronx being burnt in ruins. How they had these landlords paying gangs to burn people in their homes, and they didn't leave. It's like the Puerto Ricans were the Palestinians of the Bronx.
wow.
They just stayed, and not everyone could afford to leave. Right? What do? Your house, building's on fire. You live in the rubble. You got to go to work tomorrow. You got to make money. You got to pay. Well, there's no rent to pay because your building burnt down. But that landlord would probably be knocking on the door. Where's my rent? Right?
Yeah.
You're
That's
still
probably the closest.
Yeah.
But in a war zone, it hits poor, middle class, and rich.
Yep. All the above. Yeah.
All the above. Y'all get smacked in it.
Mm-hmm.
And because we don't have that experience, I think that's why. And this is something to be said about Gen Z that is very special. American Gen Z.
Mm-hmm.
That they were empathetic enough to see all of what was going on in Gaza and feel so outraged of seeing little kids, Rubble, that they were even willing to lose their future for it.
Yes.
So as much as we dog the younger generations, we also have to recognize
they got balls. Well, they don't want to work till they're 65 anyway.
Well, the way it's going, there might be no work to make it to that because these assholes are going to blow everything up, right?
Right.
We're right back to when we were kids in the 80s.
Yeah. I talked to the younger teachers there. They're like mid-20s, early 30s. I'm like, hey, man, don't lose hope. Things will get better. You'll get, you'll master what you're doing. Because, I need my retirement in a few years and you're going to keep working. And they're like, I'm not going to do this job retiring. No. I said the same thing.
Well, I think a lot of what Gen Z doesn't understand, they have more. And again, it goes to these divisions, actually, to think of it. I was talking about earlier about divisions.
Yeah.
Generational divisions. It's a very American thing. Like,
yeah.
It's a division. I've seen at protests, because there was a time when they had the yellow vest protests here, and I saw pretty much everyone for the year and a half. But I would see young and old out there duking it out with the cops. And I think one of the big divisions and the way that they really control us is through this whole generation thing. Extend this. We all have our differences, of course, because we all lived in different time periods, different things.
Right.
But I think we also have to acknowledge that we're in the same fight.
Absolutely.
And there are things that the younger generation annoys us with, but there's things that the older generation can provide to the younger ones in terms of like, yeah, we tried that. Fucking doesn't work. You might want to try this. Then try that. We're a little too old to do this, but you might be able to pull it off. I don't fucking know, right?
Right.
It's like I don't know if you know who John Trudell is.
I've heard this name before.
He was a Native American poet and activist.
Okay, yes.
Part of AIM.
AIM, yes. I saw that documentary.
He said, America has a lot of oldsters, but not a lot of elders. Think of that.
Yeah.
We're not, the older generation isn't living up to being the elders.
Right.
Elders doesn't mean we get to lead everything. We're just there to advise and guide the younger generation.
Yes.
And as a culture, because we're very consumeristic, we're not doing our job too.
Right.
We have to admit that. We sort of go, okay, I'm old enough now, fuck them.
Right. No,
and it should be like, no, now my responsibility gets deeper because I'm a dad, a granddad, great granddad, whatever it might be. And I gotta make sure that you don't fuck up the same way I did. Right.
Yeah.
So just to keep that in mind, the youngsters are all right.
Yeah, for sure.
You know?
I mean, yeah, there was a documentary from AIM. I forgot the name of it, but it was like about Wounded Knee and John
Trudell.
Not John Trudeau, the other one. He was there, I believe, but the guy who went to jail who's still in jail.
He got out. Leonard Peltier.
Leonard Peltier, yeah.
Leonard Peltier, yeah, he got it. He did get out.
Yeah, he did, but he's house arrest. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think last year he I think he has cancer on top of it. So.
Well, he's like 80 now.
Yeah.
I know he had diabetes. He had a whole bunch of stuff. But he's
He was in prison for 50 years.
Yeah, and he didn't do anything.
Yeah, he didn't.
He just said the judge said someone needs to pay. You're going in.
Right. Basically, it was infiltrated by a bunch of undercovers, right? Like FBI or something like that, and then they were going into the neighborhood, shooting up the neighborhood, and driving off. They just thought it was a bunch of yahoos, and then ended up being like fucking government workers that were doing that, Yeah, in 75, the Pine Ridge shooting on the reservation, right?
Yeah.
So he killed 2 FBI agents. He thought they were just 2 guys just terrorizing them. They were being terrorized, being shot at.
And he didn't even shoot them.
Right.
Apparently. He was just keeping the kids from getting hurt or something.
Right.
To that effect. But they blamed it on him.
Yep. and it was a 71-day standoff in South Dakota. Wounded knee. So it's like,
And Pine Ridge is the poorest place in the Western Hemisphere.
right.
Poorer than freaking Haiti.
Yeah.
So
It's like talking about needing, like you said, making an example out of someone. And this is things like that is what kind of killed the movement of, you see Black Panthers going to jail, you see the president getting killed, you see president's brother getting killed, you got the death of Martin Luther King, you got Malcolm X, yeah. Anyone that made a stand either went to jail for a very long time, you know, or was murdered, you know.
yeah.
And people were like, shit. I mean, that should have drove people stronger to resist more. And it did. I mean, you had the Weather Underground, but then finally it fizzled out, you know?
Yeah. Well,
You know?
have you ever seen the movie? I'm sure you have. I'm Gonna Get You, Sucker. My favorite scene, which sums up what you're saying, is when he goes to see the black radical guy to help
Yes.
him.
Yes.
And the guy's like going on, oh, we did this and we did that. And he's like getting up and he's all like, black revolutionary. And he goes, so what happened? Oh, one day we went into the FBI building. Oh, yeah? With our guns. Oh, did you kill any of them? No, they gave them jobs.
Right.
And I was like, holy shit, that one quirky little scene sums up what happened. People start to just like go
Right.
back, I just get a fucking job. I'm not gonna deal with this radical stuff anymore.
Right. Exactly. That's
You
just
know.
like,
And it's sad because right now we need some of the old radicals.
right. They pacified us.
Yeah.
They completely pacified us to the point where people were just like, oh, I got a retirement, I get this. Oh yeah, I'm gonna do this. Oh, I'm gonna work for the MTA. I'm gonna work for this. It's like,
I'm just looking out for myself. Screw everybody else. And in
right.
some cases, it's gotten to the point that it's, well, my kids aren't going to have an environment. Screw them. I'm dead in 5 or 6 years anyway. I'm just going to enjoy my time here.
There was a movie that, like, case in point of this, that they just did recently with DiCaprio, right? It's called
Oh, Don't Look Up.
No, this-
One battle after another. Yeah, I haven't seen that one.
Gotta say it. It's pretty good. But it just goes to show you that even when you stand up to fight and resist, how quickly society is willing to just move on. And that
Yeah.
you can't fight the apathy. And then those who are the true believers end up running and hiding or in prison, like
Yeah.
you become the enemy.
Well, the problem is that we've been a very wealthy country. We've been on the upside of the fortune's wheel.
Right.
Once you start going on the downside of fortune's wheel,
Right.
then it's like, what do you mean there's no retirement? What do you mean there aren't any jobs?
Yeah.
What do you, and you just keep listing it and you're like, fuck this shit, I'm rebelling.
Right.
Because really, what else do you have to lose? You have jack shit.
Right, exactly.
There's no future, right? Even for retirement. So I guess what I'm saying in a very long-winded and silly way is that things have been good. They've been good enough.
Yeah, for people to ignore the elephant on their neck.
But when they don't, and things aren't good, that's when you'll see change.
Right.
That's when you'll see, okay, no, we can't handle this shit.
Well, yeah, and I think this whole thing of just grabbing people at airports and stuff like that with ICE and
well, that's going to have
it's getting there. It's getting there.
And a lot of people said, because I've seen some knuckleheads say to me, well, we don't get our gas and oil from the Strait of Hormuz.
Right.
No, but we get helium.
Right.
And more importantly, we get most of our fertilizers
Yeah.
for our food. And so now the farmers in the United States and Europe are all facing, I think,
Mhm.
it's like a 30% increase in costs for fertilizers.
Yep.
They're going to pass that to us. They're going to have a shortage of food, which that's also going to cost more.
Yep.
Then in the United States, you have all these ICE people who've basically gotten rid of the people who actually pick the food.
Right.
So that's going to be an added cost. So all this is going to bite us
In the
in
end,
multiple asses.
that's the thing is we became the generation before us, the children of the boomers were like, this is not our problem anymore. Oh, they shot John Lennon. It's over. Get back to work.
Well, the hippies became the yuppies.
Right. The hippie, yeah. The yuppies and the
Like
hippies, right? It's like that.
because that idiot Peter Thiel, and
Yeah.
I know, like, oh well, he's rich. Doesn't mean anything. He's a fucking idiot.
Right.
He was on Joe Rogan saying some shit about, well, the reason for all this mamby-pamby stuff is because of the hippies. And it's like, dude, you grew up in South Africa. You don't fucking know shit about the United States,
Right. It's like,
right? And he grew up in a place where there's still hell Hitlering. But by the time the 80s came along, all that hippie stuff was gone.
right. Exactly.
That was more like made up
They
Hollywood
they
stuff.
were in the dregs. They were like,
Yeah, they were the Gordon Geckos.
right.
They were the ones who would have eaten Peter Thiel and carp for breakfast
Right.
because they were so fucking ruthless, and that part of it is weird, seeing someone who knows nothing about our culture, apparently. But speaking of Peter Thiel, Mr. Antichrist, obsession
Right.
with the Antichrist, he got taken to task by the Vatican. One of the top advisors to the Pope had a whole write-up just destroying him
Mm.
and saying that his whole philosophy is just childish, for one, and two, his understanding of the Bible is just barely above a conspiracy theorist, a very bad conspiracy theorist, and he doesn't even speak well.
Right.
It's
Right.
true, he doesn't. And of course, he's right. I mean, where in the New Testament in the Bible it talks about computers and AI?
Nowhere.
Where? Find me where, and I will say, wow, this was a visionary book. It speaks nowhere of computers.
Nothing.
For him to say that the Antichrist is going to be against computing and
Right.
AI is some really bad.
Preaching.
It's
Preaching shit.
it's some dumb shit, right?
It's in the Bible.
No, it's not.
I remember that it was in the Bible, right? When I was a kid.
It's like no,
Rome
it's not.
was in 1975. What happened to that?
You can barely squeeze out the rapture out of the Bible, let
Right.
alone like AI. So he's right. I mean, he took him to task. I'll send you the piece. It was like, whoa. Uh, and I think he's Catholic on top of that. So by the Vatican bitch slapping you like that as a Catholic is freaking hilarious to me. But he was saying ultimately he's just trying to find an excuse for his predatory style of capitalism.
Right.
All it is.
Exactly.
He's right. You know.
Very true.
So sorry, I had to have a Peter Thiel rant because I find that too many people make him into this James Bond villain.
Yes. He's
And
not.
it's like, he loves that. I'm sure he loves that. I'm sure he sits there and goes, yes, I am. But if you reduce him like South Park did, I'm sure he hates that.
Right. Exactly.
So don't give him what he loves. Give him what he hates.
Right.
You know. Or his partner, what's his name? Carp. That guy looks like he's on cocaine.
Right.
If you've ever seen, I don't know if you've seen him, he's always fidgety. I was like, hey, yeah, oh yeah, we're gonna kill a lot of people. And if I had drones, it could pee on people. And I'm like, dude, were you that much of a nerd that people mistreated you that much that as a grown-up, this is your revenge fantasy is to kill people? And of course, Palantir, which is named after, I can't believe that a grown-up actually named it after something from Lord of the Rings,
Right.
is the system that they use to kill people in Gaza. And it's also the system that was used to kill those little girls in Iran.
Sickening.
So, when I see these people, and they just make me sick. So I had to have my rant. It's my rant on Palantir and AI guy. I won't even get on Musk because that guy, I don't know what's wrong with him. So
No, these people are just weirdos, man. They're just straight up weirdos. That's what it really is. I mean,
I think they need a rubber room and a straitjacket, a lot of therapy. I don't think their mommies and daddies love them.
clearly.
Clearly, and in terms
See
of
that with Trump's kids, Trump himself.
yeah,
I don't know if you ever read about his father and how terrible his father was.
Yeah, I've read some
monstrous
stuff.
I mean,
I read some stuff.
And
really what it comes down to is just bad parenting. We're suffering bad parenting.
Yes.
The results of bad parenting. But it seems to be a way how the rich control their own families. That's this way. Excuse me.
Absolutely. Gaslighting.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just gaslighting. That's all it is, right? It's just like.
And one generation gaslights the other. After the other.
Yeah. It's like I can't play the video because we're gonna get hit with it. But I mean,
which video are you talking about?
Because every time I play something, from like SNL or something, we get hit and we're just like, oh, we can't do that. It's like,
oh yeah,
it just like shows you like talking about like how these guys, like I would say Google it on YouTube. I mean, I would love to play it because it's so fucking hilarious. But it's just like going back to like we're talking about like these revolutionaries and standing up for the country and doing what the actual Constitution says, right? When we lose our place and it's like the government is clearly corrupt, to restart it, reboot it, right? That's the way it was designed. Then you have these people that do, organizations that do, like Black Panthers and so on, it's like, and then they're penalized for that. It's like, and then now everything's just like a mockery, it's just everything becomes like a mockery of it. That's where we're at as a society. It's like,
well, that's one of the functions of
to cope,
stamping down on revolutionaries.
Right. It's just like, we're just gonna mock the shit out of this, and
you either villainize it, you mock it, or you kill it.
Right.
And these entities, these media entities that put out any of this stuff, is owned by the billionaire class.
Absolutely.
So we're not getting news that's unfiltered. We're getting very filtered news.
Yes.
Very
controlled.
Very controlled. I mean, that doesn't mean I won't read a story of what's happening, but I don't stop at, oh, this is the definitive truth. It's usually kind of like, okay, give it a few months, maybe something else will come out that might contradict this, or maybe give it a different angle so you get to see the larger story.
Right, exactly.
But I think we're too trustful of our news.
Abso-fucking-lutely. We are too, and people are like, well, I didn't see that on Google. Google didn't say it, so it can't be true. It's like there's other things other than Google.
Yeah.
Oh, how can you listen to Al Jazeera? It's funded by Qatar. Yeah, and who's funding our news?
Larry Ellison.
Rupert Murdoch? Is he gonna trust that motherfucker?
Rupert Murdoch, Larry Ellison.
Right.
CNBC and MSNBC were at one point owned by Microsoft.
Right.
And I think it was Raytheon.
Right. Exactly.
Right?
Why would you trust those fuck faces? It's like
who trusts an actual military contractor, right?
Right.
It's like,
there's this clip of a video. I was trying to find it on Instagram, but I can't. It's on YouTube. And if you play it on YouTube, then we're gonna get hit. So I suggest you guys watch this SNL skit about one battle after another, and they did the action figure line. So it's like they basically reduce it to like a G.I. Joe commercial, It's like, Now you'll get some laughs out of it, but at the same time, it's kind of sad. It's like this is where we're at. Is that we're on the brink of World War III. Well, we're in World War III rather. I'll take that back. It started like a month ago. it's like
I think it started with Ukraine.
yeah, well, yeah, that too. So
It started with Ukraine.
so I mean, you got that, but you have this whole thing with Iran, and then we have our ICE detainees and all this stuff. It's like Israel can't keep. How do we control these Americans? Oh, we'll just get this ICE over here and just train them the way we train our IDF to fight the Gazans, right? Because the Gazans, majority are peaceful protesters, right? They're not warring. They don't have guns. There's no militia. There's no Hamas. Where's that? You see like this video of, oh, we're trading hostages with hundreds of these guys in these uniforms, with pristine, brand new uniforms, driving a pristine truck. These guys aren't in battle. This is a movie set. Where they're probably like Egyptians or something, or like, or Saudis pretending to be Hamas. And then, where are they? They're not fighting. Where's this war? I just see tents and children being blown up for the last 3 years. It's like, where are these Hamas guys? Those guys were killed on the day of October 7th. The 200 soldiers that died, that was your Hamas right there. This little street gang that got taken out.
Yeah.
The
Well,
first.
it could be seen that way. I mean, we don't really know.
Yeah, but it's just
They
like
could be fighting and we couldn't even see it because they're not going to show it to us.
yeah. Well, the media won't, but the everyday person with cell phones out there, you don't see it, right?
Yeah. But I'm just saying they wouldn't.
I mean, they've withdrawn plenty of troops from there too. They're all in Lebanon.
Yeah. And they had a whole squadron, Israeli squadron, taken out. The IDF, the head of the military services, came out and said that the Israeli military is on the verge of collapse.
Yep. And then you don't even see in American news how the soldiers are revolting, how the kids are burning their draft cards, how it's like that's their Vietnam.
But here's the problem. Just like Ukraine, because this isn't shown either.
Yep, exactly.
They're grabbing them off the streets in Ukraine and forcing them.
Yep,
dragging them. And we just recently in the United States, they just upped the age for enlistment to 42.
Exactly. I think it was 46, but yeah, it's like ridiculous.
Which means my fellow millennials,
right.
I'm not a millennial, but my millennials out there now know that isn't just going to be the 20-something Gen Zers, it's going to be you out there too. At least you think. And
it also means that we're free and clear.
Oh no, they'll try to crawl it up to 50 and 52, and that's what the Ukrainians did. They jacked it up in the 50s. They were getting 56-year-old guys off the street.
Yeah, they were getting old dudes in there. I think
the only thing that will save our asses, all of us, and everybody's like, "What the fuck is China doing?"
Preparing.
How can I put it? We as Westerners love the boom, boom, boom show, right? We love like chess and checkers. You kill things, immediately you see the result. If you've ever played a game called Go, Go isn't quite like that. You have to surround to choke someone out. So you're dealing with a culture that thinks a little differently as to how to do shit. And what do I mean by this? They've banned rare earths. They have a 90% monopoly on rare earth refinement. And if we want the equipment to refine rare earths, we got to buy from them. So we are kind of, well, we're fucked. Why? We need rare earths like gallium and other things to make munitions, make ships, make chips, make all sorts of shit. And even jet fuel. I think it's antonium or whatever it's called that we need. It doesn't work for the actual, but it's part of the process. So we could run out of jet fuel. We could run out of munitions. We could have ships that we can't repair. We don't have a factory base. stateside to make steel and do all the stuff that we need to at a decent price. We have completely gutted ourselves
Yeah.
for the billionaire class who expects to use this mythical, legendary military that's no longer what it was
Right.
to crush Iran. And Iran, we might not like to hear it, is kicking our asses right now, and they're not telling us.
Right. Well, if you watch Al Jazeera, they are.
I sent you a video.
Let's be honest.
I sent it to you on what was it? It was on Facebook. This is the level of trolling. Like we've seen the Lego stuff.
Yes, the Lego stuff, yeah.
But there's this one video and came out right after Trump said some shit about, oh, we destroyed all of their missile systems. And this to me, I mean, the production on this was wild. It's the guy on the skateboard.
Right.
I sent it to you on.
Let me see if you share this.
It's to me, I'm just like, the level of trolling on these guys. I didn't know Persians had it in them.
Right. Oh yeah. I mean, you can see the intellect. The iron. Let's see. Where's this video? You sent it on Instagram or Facebook?
Facebook.
Oops. All right.
It's Facebook.
Do that again.
Freak, it's called.
Let's see. Facebook. You should change it to face front.
Oh, you haven't seen IT Crowd, have you?
No.
Oh man, I gotta send you. I love IT Crowd. IT Crowd is a British show, and it's these guys who work at this financial firm as IT workers.
Right.
It is a very quirky show, but it's funny. And there's one episode they were poking fun at Facebook.
Right.
Called it was it Face Front or something.
Is that right?
Cutting up about the addicted. It was wild. And this show ran about, I think it was about 10 years or 14 years ago. Oh man, I love that show. You can't see it?
I'm looking. I got the page. If it's supposed to send me a code. I'm like, where's this code sent?
What code? Okay.
Yeah, it's like everything got logged out.
Oh, I also sent it to you I'll resend it to you. Is it better at Instagram? I'll send it to you to your Zorro.
Usually it's Facebook is usually, but now they're telling me, oh, you want to look at your history? You need a mobile device code. I'm like, what code is that?
I'll just resend it. That's not a problem.
It's like, okay, what code? I don't know. What is my code?
Okay, I'll send it to you places. Okay, I'll send it to you.
I'm just gonna guess. Let's see if that works.
Yeah, they did that to me the other time, and I just closed out and I went back in.
I was like, code sent. Now where did it go?
I sent it to you again.
Okay, let's see.
The level of trolling on these guys, man, I just hats off to them.
Yeah, it's freaking crazy.
You know, they're
It's not the one with the African guy, right?
No, it's the one where the guy's in the military outfit.
Why am I not seeing this?
Right. Just there.
There we go. All right, don't restore message. Oh, I found it. There you go. Okay. It's on Facebook. Yeah. Now it came through.
Oh, yeah, now the level of trolling on this,
right. Let's see this.
Hats off to them.
They have a unique sense of parody, like for real.
And cutting too.
Oh yeah, for real. They're just like,
oh man.
How can you not?
I'm like,
someone was saying, like, asking people, do you want Iran to win and beat the United States? And I was like, don't ask me that.
They were asking you that?
They were asking some other dude next to me at the thing. Like they're like some right-wing group was asking people. I was like,
my thing is this. If you're going over to someone else's home.
Right, exactly.
I expect them to defend themselves the best that they can against you.
Right. Didn't we say another country that began with the letter I had a right to defend themselves? It's just different for being attacked.
Yeah, but they're not brown, Ray.
Yeah. Well, some of them are.
Some of them are.
Let's see.
The level of trolling on this, I just love it.
Oh my God.
That came out right after Trump had said some shit about destroying their crap.
That is nuts.
That's insane.
I'm just like, what the hell?
I'm like, oh man. And you heard about the radar. The radar plane that we had there got blown up, right?
Yeah.
And they targeted right the fucking radar. They didn't hit the whole plane. They hit the radar.
Right. It's that precise.
That precise, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I expect any country, if it was our country being invaded, fucking right, I want us to win. If it's someone else getting, why would you cheer for invaders?
Right.
Being invaders, right?
Right.
I didn't like it when we did it to Iraq. I wish that Iraq could have defended itself. We
Right.
bought off most of those people there, for one, so they didn't put up their missile defense systems.
Right.
But,
Exactly.
you know.
Yeah, I mean, it's like you can't say, "Hey, this is not right," but then it's what's okay for one is not okay for the other. You know.
Yeah.
You just
You know,
cannot, you know.
see, the thing is, a lot of times it's people will be like, well, they mistreat women. Is that a reason to bomb them?
So do Americans. We don't even want them to get abortions.
Right. Oh, they mistreat the gays.
It's like
is that a reason to bomb them? You
right.
know, oh, they mistreat their minorities. Oh, really? Is that a reason to bomb them?
Right. It's like what are they trying to
And then you have people like that war piglet,
yeah.
Lindsey Graham, who literally said, "We're gonna make a lot of money."
Right.
You know,
Exactly.
it's disgusting.
It is disgusting, you know.
Disgusting.
It's just like I don't understand what's the logic behind this, you know.
Well, it's money. They're telling us.
Yeah.
They
Well, yeah.
were-
You know,
They're
give
gonna
me some money.
money. You know, and he's such a piglet of a man too. Money.
I hate to be that guy, but you know, it's just like what the
He's
fuck?
just nasty. Just
Yeah.
nasty. And Trump is making money off of it too.
Oh,
Because
big time.
you saw when he said that they were talking before he released something.
Right.
The
like-
stock market, there was a huge trade right before he announced it.
Yes.
Oil, and then when he announced it, there was a drop. So someone made a shitload of money.
Yeah, he's doing like a total Wolf on Wall Street. He's not even hiding it. I mean, look at this. Did you see this one with the teeth?
Yeah, I saw it.
And I mean, that's, you know, this is getting to the point of ridiculousness, you know.
I mean, come on.
But they also said something about him not having a footprint. But actually, if you look at the video that he's driving his car, it's the same car that Epstein has, same leather interior, same like it's like. So Americans have now embraced this thing that was started by Iran, that Jeffrey Epstein's alive. They don't even realize it. It's like,
yeah, and you know what? No,
it went from Epstein's dead to Epstein's hiding overnight.
And not one person from the Epstein network is in jail, other than Ghislaine, and I don't think she's in jail.
No, she's not. She's in Canada. We already saw that.
Mm-hmm. And yeah,
You know, it's like you just gotta freaking laugh at this stuff.
The way I see it, if people weren't dying,
Yeah,
it would be fucking hilarious.
true.
But because people are dying, it's mildly hilarious. Mildly.
Right.
Because it's just so fucking, it's absurd. We didn't need this war.
No.
Actually, we never needed any of the wars that we got ourselves into.
No.
So I don't really understand any of this. I understand it's the greed, but greed, I think we haven't really put greed in the level of a bad emotion.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like I need to hoard so much shit.
It's a 7 deadly sins, right? Greed.
Yeah.
They should be punished for it.
Meanwhile, Gordon Gekko said, greed is good.
Right, exactly.
Gonna make money. Sorry, I like to
people who are like that, you treat greed like a sickness.
It should, yeah. If we saw any animal, and there was a meme about this, if the scientists saw a monkey that was hoarding bananas, they would say, obviously, there's something wrong with this monkey.
Right.
But humans,
and then canning them,
and then canning them,
and then burying them in the ground.
Well, the worst
And
part
toilet
is
paper.
the worst part is, at least with the monkey, it's actually real bananas.
Right. It's not that.
Ours is fictional fucking
He takes all the bananas and he starts selling them to all the other monkeys.
Yeah, but at least those are physical. They're real, right? We've gotten to the point like, no, I got these imaginary bananas.
Right.
Like that's what money really is. Like,
Right. Right. Then he
Like-
starts killing anyone that tries to steal his bananas so he can't sell them. Like, you're interfering with my sales.
like
It's like,
one of the things that people don't, because I've done a lot of economic comics, and actually right now I'm doing I'm doing a 2-pager for Steve
right.
Steve Kane, and hopefully we'll get him on the show. I know we will. I talked to him. But what people don't understand is they think money is actually the physical stuff you hold.
No.
That's not money. That's currency.
Yeah, exactly.
Money is the calculation of debt.
Mm-hmm.
This is how fucking fucked up we are. We actually break people's kneecaps over fictional
Right.
debts. Like, when people say, oh, religion. No. Yeah, religion's pretty messed up. Yes. Whatever God you believe in, the crocodile God or whatever. But we have this thing called money that's even more fucking whacked. Right? So yeah, it's not, that's just the representation of money. It's all the math and calculating debt.
It's like all the native people we call immigrants, illegal immigrants, and then we kick them out of their land. Then we charge them to come to their land. You want to come back? All right, we'll give you a job. And that's what they're going to do in Gaza. Like, you have Trump's son-in-law. They're going to do this whole resort thing in Gaza.
They ain't doing shit.
They're going to charge them rent to live. You want to stay in Gaza?
We got it down. We got it down thumb. We got it.
Yeah. Here we go. With this, I don't know if you saw this. This was been floating around in the United States all week. Take a look at this. This thing is.
Oh yes. Oh man, that guy's brilliant.
Oh, that guy.
Oh, that guy, man. They're so mad at him. They're so mad at him. Oh, he so crushed her. So mad at him. Oh man, yeah. Oh. Yeah, people were saying, well, why can't we do blackface?
Yeah, well,
and people had to remind, oh no, you did like blackface like forever.
Right. Basically, yeah. It's basically minstralism, yes, but it's like,
yeah, but the power dynamic.
Right. It's like, come on now. Yeah. Who was influenced? Yeah, exactly. It's like, yes, it is minstralism. No one's not saying that it isn't.
Just my last point, because you were saying that Jared Kushner is going to do all this stuff. They ain't doing shit, man. I'm telling you right now, they ain't doing shit. Not with what's going on now. And none of it's going to happen.
Yeah.
But it ain't going to happen.
Yeah. It's yeah, they're trying. They're trying, but yeah, it's scary. Like I said,
you know what Iran told them, right?
Yeah, get the fuck out.
Get the fuck out.
Sorry, it's the Bronx interpretation. Yeah, they gave them, what was it, 20 things to
one of them was getting out of Gaza.
Yeah, like
they're not doing shit.
All the way out. We want you all the way out. It's like I kind of wish this happened sooner, then we wouldn't have so much dead. I think Iran literally waited for the very last moment.
Well, legally they couldn't.
Yeah, legally they couldn't.
Because if they would have, it would have given.
They would have been the aggressor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's unfortunately how everybody's played.
You see how everyone of color has to play by the rules, but the Europeans don't.
Hey, there's no privilege.
You know?
No privilege there, right?
Yeah, it's like
they get to do whatever the fuck they want to. And I think that's coming to an end with this. And with the Drewski thing, they were on his ass for it. He had to come out and say, that guy's such a clown. He said, nope, my grandfather's white. And I'm like, oh, he just played the reverse Uno, on them. Now he wants to do one on Jewish people.
oh.
So apparently while he was filming, he got a phone call.
Yeah.
And he said, fuck no, we're still doing it. Oh, yeah, that's going to be interesting.
Yeah, don't go there. You can make fun of Amalek. Don't make fun of us.
It's all white people, just different religion. That's all.
It's yeah, man, it's crazy. Crazy times. Crazy times.
Yeah.
But, I think we've said everything that we needed to be said today. I think we can wrap it up.
Yes, we did. We even got our first thumbs down.
Did we really?
Yes, we did, and I'm okay with it.
Thank you for that thumbs down, whoever you are.
I don't give a rat's ass. You don't like it, it's okay.
Yeah, that's cool.
It's a semi-free country.
Yeah. The semi. Wow, was that just now after I played the air thing?
No, I saw it pop up. It was going. It's when we were talking about Jared Kushner.
Well, I mean,
all that other shit. Oh well.
The truth hurts.
Yeah, it does.
I hate to, sound like a jerk, but.
Well, there might be some Jared Kushner fans out there. Yeah. I hear there are people who like reptilians. Reptilians have fans too, man. Come on.
Yeah, we gotta be fair.
Gotta be fair.
Fair.
Fellow reptoid humanoids. Actually, you know what? For a long time, I rejected the shape-shifting reptilian thing.
Yeah.
But I've given it some thought. It would make it a hell of a lot easier to rebel against reptilian overlords than it would be fellow humans. Be like
vampires, right? It's like
fucking reptiles, man. They ain't even human.
Right,
it's easier, actually.
Yeah.
So maybe I'm down with it. All they're reptilian shape-shifting overlords, right?
I'm telling you. No, I know it's so the world we're living in is just like, what the flying F,
Well, I think I sort of mash it in my brain. How I come to terms with it is that we're coming to the end of a long 500-year period.
Mm-hmm.
And it is an amazing time to be alive. And I hope that we make it all to the other side and that these motherfuckers don't get us all killed.
Right.
All jokes aside, because it's scary. It's scary to think that the thing we grew up with, because you remember that movie, it was called The Day After.
Yes.
We grew up with a lot of, and the previous generation, grew up with having to go under their freaking desks, wood desks to protect them from nuclear fire.
Yes. I mean, we enjoyed a lot of shit to go through this now in our older age.
It's
a shame. What's the purpose? What was the point of everything? If this is where we're at, if this is where we're being led to,
And I hope I think it'll be calmer once we're on the other side.
Because damn it, I'm mad.
Yeah, no. Oh, network.
I'm angry.
I'm mad as hell and I'm not gonna take it anymore.
That's right.
The best speech in that movie was delivered. Oh man, I forget the name of the actor from now. How could I forget his name?
Right.
He's the guy from Superman. He played Lex Luthor's sidekick.
Oh yeah.
He was in Deliverance, but he gave the best speech in Network. The speech where he sits him down and he says, "You have meddled with the forces of nature, and you must atone." And then he starts talking about there is no countries, there are no this, there's only dollars, rubles, and all this shit. that speech, even though it was comedic, actually had a lot of truth.
Oh, absolutely.
So, yeah, never.
It's a classic movie. I remember watching it a lot when I was a kid.
Oh, I keep watching that.
My parents didn't watch what I was watching, so here I am.
You're Gen X. I didn't care. Now I have a question for you.
What's that?
This is a question for you, because I think every Gen Xer knows this feeling. Just sort of ask everybody my age or close to my age.
Right.
Whenever you were watching a movie and the saucy part came, sex scene, girl in the shower, because they always had those scenes where women were always nude. Did it just so happen that your parent walked in at the time?
Oh yeah, we get them return.
Always. It's just like
turn
watch
around.
most of the movie. Then oh, shit, mom, what are you doing? No, don't look. That kind of thing.
I'll tell you though, there was a double edge to that though. I'll tell you, of hypocrisy. If we were watching something and something like that came up, they're like, hey, what are you watching? Now the flip side, if we're hanging out with our friends and we just come into the house and we catch, my mom and my aunt, they were always like, my aunt lived with me for a few years. And they're watching TV with the grandma, whatever, and they're watching something saucy. They just ignore us and they just keep watching. We're like, wait a minute now.
That's funny.
And then I'd be like the bastard. Everyone would like leave the room. I'd be the bastard, like curl up next to my mom, like, oh, what are you watching? This is pretty interesting.
Oh, that's funny.
Sex scene going on here. Like it's like and the
That's
shit
so
much way worse than the stuff we did, So it's like,
Yeah.
I mean, I call my mom watching Porky's.
Oh my God, Porky's. Yeah, there's a whole generational stuff that I couldn't show my kids.
Yeah.
And they're teenagers. My kids are teenagers.
Right. I would be embarrassed to show them that stuff. I wouldn't want to there's a show that was called Euphoria on HBO with Zendaya. And I had a hard time watching that show. I was like, oh, this is not for me. I'm just like, I can't do it. And, and I'm an adult. I'm just like, this is just wrong. I think, who made this show? Like, who watched? Like, who is this show made for, first of all?
Epstein.
Right.
Epstein.
But HBO, you kind of get numb to because HBO has a lot of shows like that, right? It's like they have the most graphic sex in the shows. Their shows are basically like porn. It's just like, so you can get through it. Surprisingly, I think Watchmen didn't have it, but all these other shows did. So it's like True Blood, that was like all over the place. Boardwalk Empire, which I was just rewatching. Sopranos. It's like they all have these explicit, violent, like graphically violent. Like,
yeah.
You're like, oh my God, that's like I don't even see that much violence. HBO has more graphic violence than movie theater violence. Like,
yeah, and it's one of the interesting things for me as a kid going from Europe to North America. You could see nudity nudity on European television.
Mm-hmm.
Not a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
Couldn't see violence. Violence was a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
Then I moved to North America.
You're right. You're like, what the fuck?
Can't see nudity, but you can see all the graphic violence you want to see.
Yeah.
It's just sort of wild, like.
Yeah. There was a French movie, since you're in France, Betty Blue. I'm sure you've seen it. It's like really out there. You're like, what the?
They got their thing.
Yeah. It's like
it's sort of wild though, like the differences of how sex is never seen as affectionate in American television.
No, it's not.
Always like very violent and very sneaky, very, I don't know, it's just something about it's just like it's seen as dirty. Dirtier than better.
Meanwhile, that's how we all get here.
Yeah, but it's
that is the passageway to life. That's how we enter this existence, right?
Yeah.
They pervert it.
It's really strange, and it's a cultural thing. It's very different and cultural.
Mm-hmm.
It's interesting sort of seeing, you see, I like old movies a lot, particularly because a lot of the old movies knew how to, they had great shots. Like when you'll look at a movie and you see how they have the foreground, the background, and everything else, and they have it nicely laid out.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, holy shit. And then when you look at the old comics, you see that. So it's almost like reflective of what
Absolutely.
the two are doing. And then you get to ours, and everything's boring.
Yeah.
Like, there's no framing. There isn't shit.
Right.
When you do see, you're like, holy shit! Did you see that shot? They did that
Yeah.
so nicely. But it's
Yeah.
also interesting seeing how sex is portrayed in each different generation, like the 30s,
Yes.
40s, 50s.
Right.
The 70s was very raunchy.
Yes.
80s became more about objectifying women even to the maximum.
Right.
Then the 90s got really violent.
The bikinis got smaller in the 90s, even in the comics.
Even
But these have the X-Men swimsuit issue, and then like in response to this Sports Illustrated swimsuit issue.
I remember that. Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
it became a thing, like, oh, it's the swimsuit issue. Like that was like advertised, like what? It's a bunch of chicks in bikinis on a sports magazine that nobody wants to read.
But
It's like,
none of it was ever done in a human way.
no, it's all objectifying. You know?
Objectifying. Yeah, it isn't just like, oh, it's their couple, you know, they love each other. None of that. It's really sad.
Yeah.
And so, even though they're showing a side to a character because it's so raunchy and violent,
That's
no,
why the
it's
Epstein stuff makes so much sense, because we're just like, oh, like you start thinking about things in the past when you're a kid, you're like, and the movies. Oh, it's like, I get it. Playboy Mansion, all this stuff, secret tunnels, all this shit. It's like,
yeah.
all this stuff. I remember in high school they were talking about this, and then they just went away. Like they were talking about how the same dude that was just implicated with Epstein. I mean, we didn't hear the name Epstein in the 90s, but we heard about the guy who ran Victoria's Secret and all these model agents.
Oh, Les Wexner or whatever.
Les Wexner, like they that guy is not new. That guy. This stuff came out years ago. Supermodels were coming out talking about this, about a prostitution ring within the supermodel agencies and the modeling agencies. They just show up as like a special report, and then you never hear anything about it again. You know?
Yeah.
But it's not new.
Well, you know, one of the Epstein emails, I can't remember who the rich guy was, but he's writing to Epstein saying, don't worry, Harvey Levin is a very good friend of ours. This is the guy from TMZ.
Right.
It's something to the effect of like, we'll drown out the story with something else. And of course, the perfect whipping boy for it was Michael Jackson.
Right, exactly.
You know, here's a guy who, strange, had kid issues in terms of he really didn't get to have a childhood, was very protective of children, and then all the other stuff that happened. And it was very easy to believe.
He may have been on the spectrum for all we know, you know?
Oh, and you know, you had an abusive father.
I mean, imagine if it comes out in another 5-10 years that Michael Jackson was autistic on some level. I wouldn't be surprised.
Wouldn't be. I mean, he was a guy who's, because I read his biography when I was younger, because I'm a big fan of this. When I was a teenager, I read it. I got a new copy because I lost my old copy, which was the first print. And he talked about playing in strip clubs at 5. Do you know what sort of damage that does to a kid playing in a strip club at 5? We always talk about, oh, child labor is bad. China's bad for child labor.
Yeah.
Literally one of our icons.
Right. Was being abused by his father, Joe Jackson.
He was a product of child labor. Like,
literally.
Sometimes we don't really realize how hypocritical we're being. You know, so, yeah.
I mean, all these actors, these pageants, all this stuff.
The little girl pageants shit, that shit freaked me out when I first saw it. It still freaks me out.
Yeah.
JonBenet,
Yeah. You know, it's funny. My sister and cousin, my mother and aunts would put my sisters through pageants in New York back in those days, in the '80s, in the early '80s. You know, it wasn't to the extent and insanity as it was in the '90s. It still had some decorum, some respect towards young ladies being young ladies. You know, in the '90s, it was just like fucking wild, wild west. The girls got younger.
And the makeup. When you
And
see
the
those
makeup,
little girls, like,
because they used to be like 12, 13, high school. Then in the '90s, it's like elementary school. Almost
yeah, but that's also New York. In the South, it was even younger.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. In the South, it's like, yeah, with Benet Ramsey, that was in the '90s, right? Or late '80s.
Late
They were
80s.
like, so in New York, you know, they had some pageants, but they were like, I don't remember it because we used to have to go to these things. We're like, this sucks. You know, like I spent my Saturday watching my sister on stage.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, oh God. But I mean, but I mean, yeah, like the South, they were like elementary school. I don't remember, and I went to quite a few of these things. I don't remember being an elementary school kid and seeing my sisters who are older. My older sister, who was already like, I would say like late middle school, early high school. You know, like they weren't little like that. But you know, like that John Benet Ramsey, like, you know, it wasn't. It got weird. And then you said like Little Miss Sunshine and all this stuff like that, you know, and Trump. It just got darker.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, I mean, whenever you got kids in the mix, it
just got dark, you know.
I mean, when you see little John Bonet, she looked like they dressed her up like a little woman. It was just gross. You're sexualizing this little kid.
Yeah, I mean, they missed out on an opportunity to having a whole market for midgets and dwarfs.
Hey, that's because they're adults.
Those are I mean, if you want to go for that,
there's a post.
The whole market you missed out on. It's just like they're already there.
No, it's not because they're little.
It's
because they're fucked up and they want kids, man. That's just wrong.
It's not a height issue. I guess you were just trying to say.
Vertically challenged.
Vertically challenged.
It was I remember hearing that. I just like.
I'm terrible. I told you I was gonna sound like a jerk. I told you. I gave you a warning.
Well, I'm gonna add to that jerkiness and tell you a story. So sitting in this bar in Spain, this guy sits next to me. He's a pretty friendly guy. We start chatting. He's from Argentina.
Right.
And and he says, "Oh, you're from the States?" Yeah, I'm from the States and I'm from here, you know. And he says to me, I said to him, "I'll tell you this hands down, the United States is the fucking craziest country in this world."
Right.
And he's like, "Nah, it's not that crazy." I'm like, "I'll prove it to you." He says, "Oh yeah, how?" I said, "We've got a sport in Florida called midget tossing." He's like, "No." I'm like, "Fucking look it up." So he looks it up.
I gotta look this up. Midget tossing.
And he bursts out laughing. He's like, "Holy shit." I said, I told you, we are the fucking craziest country on this planet. Like, I'm not fucking bullshitting you.
Oh my God.
Such a point that they were trying to ban it in Florida. It's always fucking Florida, right?
Yeah, what the fuck?
And some of the little people, or I should say the vertically challenged people, or whoever they want to. I don't mean to be disrespectful to you. I'm sorry.
No, we're not. We love everybody.
They actually protested against it. They said, "Don't fucking ban this shit. This is making us money."
Right. This is like, what are you doing? Get out of my pocket.
Get out of my fucking pocket. I'm making money.
This is nuts.
I tell you, we are a sick society.
What the fuck?
Well, that guy's not a midget, clearly, right? He's actually big enough to qualify. Yeah.
Oh, that's like, yeah, he's not a midget. That's a tall
he's a regular guy.
Let's see. Is there a midget in there? No. I guess this is the nerd tossing.
This is the nerd tossing, yeah. Tossing nerds. Like, who sits around and thinks of this shit? I don't sit there and go, you know what? I always wanted to toss that little guy across the bar. What? You know,
Oh my God.
tossing nerds.
Uh,
Maybe that's what Peter Thiel and Elon Musk need. They need a good tossing.
mm.
And Alex Carpenter.
Don't say that in prison. It means something entirely different.
I don't want to know.
That's the hell the. I guess we'll close on this, but it's like our slang from when we were younger means the complete opposite to young people now.
Oh yeah.
Like here's a simple example, an innocent one. Like, you know, when we said we're tired, we're gonna go crash. It means we're gonna go to sleep, right?
Yep. Still do use it.
All right, and we still use it, right? But when I say it, the kids are like, oh, watch out. Like they stick it because crashing out or get it, you know, it means like to destroy shit. Like you're gonna just wreck, like you're gonna break your television, destroy your video game, you're gonna crash out. So kids were like saying, I'm gonna crash out, I'm gonna crash out. I was like, don't fall asleep. And they're like, what do you mean? No, I would have just wrecked shit. I was like, no. I said, no. It's when crashing out means, you know, like, you know,
going to sleep.
Go to sleep. Take a nap. Because the kid was like, I'm gonna crash out. I was like, go ahead, dude. Go ahead. Shut the fuck up. Just go to sleep. Like,
that's
I'm gonna destroy stuff. I was like, that's not what it means.
To play off what you're saying, that's within like 2 generations or a generation.
Right, exactly.
Now imagine like 5, 6 generations.
Right.
You write that shit down. And then someone goes, this is a holy book.
Right.
He walked on water. No, that's not what we meant. We meant like, you know, he just went to the pool, man. Like, what's wrong with you?
Right. He literally walked on. That was a slang. Walking.
That was just a slang.
He was in the zone. He was walking on water.
Exactly. He was.
He was focused. He was, you know, like they lock in, right? You know,
you guys actually believed that he.
Right.
Wow.
But, you know, our generation said, you know, we're gonna lock in. That meant that we were locking something physically, but that means they're focusing. They're focusing. I'm locked in.
I'm locked in. Yep.
You know, a lot of crazy stuff. You know, so now I get to yell it. Lock in already.
What do they take it as?
Serious.
What do they take it as?
No,
what do they take it as?
No, they say it's focused, right? Like
so they still keep that. They kept that, right?
Yeah, but when I was a kid, when I was a teenager, we didn't use lock-in like that. You know, it was something totally different. You know, like to physically lock something.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of them, but then I say stuff that's like, and they're like, "Oh, that sounds kind of sexual, mister." I'm like, "No, it's like I'm just using my regular slang, you know, like, you know." So it's like a lot of weird stuff, things that they don't understand. They assume that it's sexual.
Yeah, it's interesting how some language changed too.
Like any word, like I don't know. I can't think of anything, but if they don't get it, that's the go-to. And I'm like, you know, kids, the internet destroyed your entire generation. I'm sorry.
It just changed them.
That's not what we're going here for. We're just trying to, and then I have to explain to them 80s slang, you know, or like, you know, like another one that's an insult is called good boy. Oh, you're a good boy. It's like,
what do they take that as?
Pet a dog or something like that, you know, like, oh, you're a good boy. Like they use that to each other. Like when they're like trying to antagonize you, you know, like you're a good boy. And they'll say it over and over, very weird. Like hey, good boy, like what the fuck? That just doesn't sound right. But
do you find that the younger generation uses memes?
Oh yeah, big time.
No, like they'll say like memes. Like there was a time when my son kept saying he'd say a joke, but it was like a meme, and I'd look at him like he's like, well, it's a meme, Dad. And I'm like, oh.
Yeah. It's memes, meme jokes,
Like really?
Yeah.
He's gotten better about it though. He's actually turns them into jokes now.
Oh, that's good. He's
got a little better about that.
He's code switching in there. He's like he's code switching with Dad, so he gets it.
It's like, huh? You know, I know this is in computer world that works perfectly fine because you share the meme.
Right.
But realize when you're speaking verbally, there isn't visuals to go with this.
Right.
You're gonna have to make that extra effort, right?
Because they're dreaming of screen. You know, they're just like, whoop, whoop. I'm just like, this is my dream. It's a 6-second dream, and then it scrolls to something else. But
my favorite old man rant before we go was Hayao Miyazaki. He hates smartphones. And he said, it looks like when I can't say it. It sounds terrible, but when you touch a woman.
Oh.
He was like, yeah, that just looks obscene.
Well, he is Japanese, you know. They have issues riding trains with the opposite sex. But to the point where they have to have women-only cars, you know. It's like,
oh yeah, they do have that, don't they? Yeah. It's like, how about you get your guys in check?
Right. Well, you know, I think that's a genuine idea, though. They should have that, you know, because they're constantly saying man spreading and all this stuff. I mean, and then they also had pregnancy cards. They had cards for women that were pregnant or women that had children.
That kind of makes more sense, actually.
That makes sense. Put your children in a separate car. Why can't we do that here?
Yeah, I could. Well, I mean, buses has special parts for
strollers going to work. You know, it's like
buses has special parts,
right,
for wheelchairs and all that other stuff. So that kind of makes more sense.
Yeah.
But if you're just so out of control as a guy that you have to have a separate car for yourself, you really have to start
looking at society.
Looking at your society, yeah.
Other pervs. You know,
control yourself.
I mean, we have like little toys in the little balls, right? That you put the quarter in and turn the machine. And I think the worst was cigarettes in a machine, right? But over there, you could get like a pair of used panties and
I know.
You're like, whoa, what's going on here? I don't think what this machine was intended for. You know, it's like.
But Ray, do they have midget tossing? I saw that once late night, and I couldn't believe that shit.
That's hilarious.
You know,
I need to.
All right,
the world record. All right, let's wrap it up. Good to see you, man.
Good to see you too. Smash the like button. Subscribe.
Like and subscribe. Where can we find your artwork?
At 7robots.com.
And on bxhcc.com, or you can just Google Bronx Heroes, and I'll be in the Boston Color in Comics Fest next Saturday. So
and I won't
leave the family behind and go to this show, and then in Brooklyn after that for the Brooklyn Comic Fest. So weekend after.
Awesome.
You can see me there. Don't shoot me. Just a clown. It's like,
we ain't starting no revolutions here.
The apocalypse is coming. Are you scared? Are you prepared? The masses are running, frantically running from their fears, running with their tears, running from their lives, running from that dark shadowed creature that hides deep inside. That's a wrap.
That's a wrap.